Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at Tru Heel Heat. Yeah!
Rob Van Dam, listen to Tru Heel Heat. Pow!
What's up, Tru Heel Heat? Tru Heel Heat.
What's up? Tru Heel Heat.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching Tru Heel Heat podcast.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with Tru Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
It's Saturday morning, and you know what time it is. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat. We got a lot to discuss from the wrestling world, including R-Truth's WWE departure and exit, causing some fan resentment with WeWantTruth chants on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And John Cena's response to it as well. We're also got the departures of Carlito and Valhalla. But with those guys and gals out of the picture, we got to have someone new in the picture mere days after her AEW exit. Mariah May has officially arrived in WWE after months and months of speculation. She's here. Meanwhile, on the AEW side, we had a 4-hour, let me repeat that, 4-hour block of Dynamite and Collision Fyter Fest, which had a lot of good things, had a lot of great things, had some bad things, mainly the 4 hours portion and runtime. That's a lot of wrestling to consume. Too much. I get annoyed by 3 hours of SmackDown. You know I'm still annoyed by 4 hours on Fyter Fest on a goddamn Wednesday. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Romeo's Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 332, Truth, Glamour, and Contracts, discussing the latest wrestling news, including R-Truth's shocking a WWE departure, causing some fan and locker room resentment and reaction to it. Carlito and Valhalla also gone from WWE, while Mariah May makes a surprise debut on NXT mere days after her AEW departure. Recap of this week in wrestling featuring WWE SmackDown with the final go-home show ahead of Money in the Bank. Raw on Netflix with Stephanie Vaquer making her official arrival on the brand by qualifying for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. NXT featuring that Mariah May debut. Evolve featuring the crowning of the inaugural Evolve Men's Champion. AEW Dynamite and Collision 4-hour Fyter Fest featuring Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada announcing their AEW All in Texas Showdown. Collision featuring Claudio Castagnoli and Mascarita Dorada qualifying for the AEW International 4-Way. ROH TV, we had New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of Super Juniors 32 final with Kosei Fujita versus Yo in an instant classic. And last night you had TNA Against All Odds. You had Impact this week. Plus we got some final predictions for WWE and AAA's Worlds Collide, as well as WWE Money in the Bank, plus some more. And no, True Josh is not here this week. He's at a convention doing his damn thing. And of course, our tribal queen, the princess of all the True Heels, is on CP time as per usual on a Saturday. So
She's on tribal queen time.
I have our esteemed producer who's usually in the background. Now he's up front here whenever we need to fill in time with somebody for me to riff with. The one and only Johnny's here. How are you doing, baby Seth?
What's up, dudes? I'm good, man. I'm fucking tired from a lot of wrestling, and I didn't even watch a third, a fourth, or a fifth of what you fucking watched. You named like every fucking wrestling show that happened from Timbuktu to Timbuktu in your intro. Like, what the fuck?
To be fair, that's usually how it happens, and this is like light.
You're not even over. It's fucking AAA, NXT, TNA. What? Like, what's going on? There's too much, man.
You're not gonna watch the Worlds Collide? I know you were one of those kids that used to watch AAA on like the Spanish channel.
I was mad confused watching that as a kid because it wasn't like the two main Spanish channels like Telemundo and Univision. So fucking Galavisión felt like the off-brand fucking Mexican Hispanic channel. I was like, I ain't watching this, but they got wrestling. Oh shit, you know.
I was one of those kids too. I was like, I don't understand what's going on because I don't understand the commentary, but wow, they're flying everywhere.
Yeah, that Mexican commentary is different than Puerto Rican and Dominican, you know, Spanglish that I was used to growing up. So, but they have colorful and pretty masks. So
that's what we're here for. Did they have the hexagon ring before TNA at one point? Yes, I remember that too.
Yeah, that was unique too. It was always a unique presentation, but I could never hammer down the time of when the fuck it was on. I knew it was like Saturdays, but I couldn't. That was
my Saturdays used to be my grandmother would just have all wrestling on all day. Like it was to be like WWF Superstars in the morning. American Gladiator, yes, you know it. American Gladiators. Then there would be some AAA in the AAA in the afternoon, and then 6:05 she would turn on TBS, and we would watch WCW Saturday night.
No wonder you are the way you fucking are.
Started with grandma.
Where the hell does CMLL air?
I don't recall when I think I finally saw CMLL when I was like a teenager. I looked it up.
I don't think I've ever seen CMLL.
think I had to look it up when I was like a teenager, and it was when by the time I was a teenager when the internet was on the rise. So yeah, that's
Right.
what some CMLL in my teen years. But yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat, sound off in the comments section if you're watching us on demand. And of course, if you're with us live, we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you could do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. It goes a long way to help the channel grow and move forward. So we always appreciate the support. We got Eric Isaac in the chat joining us today saying, hey, THH fam, happy Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank Day. And can either or both La Primera and Americano Gable make history today, winning their Worlds Collide matches and becoming Senor and Senorita in the bank? I think only one. I think only one will probably.
If they, I know you're not doing Money in the Bank predictions yet, but if they go with El Grande Americano winning the Money in the Bank and fucking cashing in AAA, that is just the stamp of imperialism and colonization, and that is going to turn off every fucking Mexican fan of AAA. I guarantee you that. Like, they are a proud culture, man. They don't got much, but they got their fucking wrestling. Don't fucking take it away from them.
I was kind of disappointed that Americano is not the one facing Vikingo. And then Maggie made a good point on our preview yesterday. She was like, no, that would be a kind of a little too racist for the AAA audience. That's why it's Gable versus Vikingo.
Still, it's going to be like when Jack Swagger or Jack Hager won the fucking Lucha Underground joint. That company was dead by then. That's just like a stamp.
That was the nail in the coffin for
Yes.
for Lucha Underground for sure. And it's even worse when you got Brutus Creed wearing a MAGA headband last night on SmackDown.
He was? You lying?
It looked like it. Go look up the picture.
Trying to hide it. He was trying to hide it.
Yeah, I think he was trying to hide it. It looked very eerily similar to one of those MAGA headbands.
Like, you're surprised. Come on, man.
Not really.
Some good old boys right there, buddy.
We got Davion in the chat saying, good morning, y'all. I'm actually on time today. Always great to be part of THH. Always love seeing you in the chat, Davion. We got Zach who says, good morning, everyone. We got Valhalla who was worried. He was like, damn, solo pod? I think Vala's just never showed up that early, that he usually misses my one person intro. And then he was like, oh my God, I'm only seeing SP3?
Everyone's on CPT. Everyone's got a CPT. Evolve V is on Curry, people.
We got Valhalla Xing. Is it okay if I drop the link for Masa Takanashi GoFundMe? Of course. You're a moderator, Vala. Feel free for sure. We got Blood Money 47 who also says get well. Masa Takanashi who recovered from neck surgery, and there's a GoFundMe on Emi Sakura's page. We also got Vala who says rare baby Seth appearance. There you go. You guys, this is what the people want.
Get what they want. Give them a sprinkle.
We also got a super chat donation from our good brother Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says, y'all know I'm all about that AEW. 4 hours on a weekday is hard. At least I was always prepared for next week to be 4 hours, but affected work for me. Yeah, I had to switch my work schedule. I couldn't work Thursday morning because I was like, I'm probably going to sleep at like 5 watching this 4-hour show. This week I'm like, nah, I'm working Thursday morning. I'll probably get like 3 hours of the show in and then go to sleep before the final hour, especially if they're booking it like they booked this week's show.
I broke it up into 2 chunks. So I just watched Dynamite on I watched on Thursday, and then I watched Collision last night. It's like,
so did you get the same thing that I got? Of this was a great episode of Dynamite, and then a very mid-level Collision episode.
To be fair, most Collisions are mid-level. It's like I wasn't expecting it. Most. I said not all, just most.
I think this year most have been good, at least.
Yeah,
this was
but
like this was like a late 2024
mid
Collision.
to good. Mid to good is Collision, but it's like never, hardly ever great.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a handful of great episodes. The tag team, that hour-long tag team match episode, Grand Slam, and I think those are another recent one.
I think there was a few this year. The homecoming one that had Timeless Toni Storm revealed that she was Timeless Toni Storm the whole time in Jacksonville. There was a few other. Oh, the one with Athena returning to AEW when they just focused on the women the whole episode. Like I think Athena was in like 4 different segments on that show. That was a really great one. There's been a few this year.
Yeah,
this year has been a better year for them. Yeah. I won't say it's
no.
This
year has definitely been better overall. So Collision also for sure, but it's hardly ever at the quality of Dynamite.
Yeah. We got Chuck Berry's in the chat joining us. Good to see you, good brother. He says, "Good morning, THH fam. Sheesh, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. So we release the truth, and that's not cool, not glamorous. It's just business." Yeah. I mean, John Cena told you how he really felt. No, I love that John Cena really just basically motivated the fans to cheer "We Want Truth" even more.
Well, he did that yesterday. I didn't watch SmackDown yet, so.
Yeah, he basically said the fans were chanting "We want truth, we want truth." So I think he pretty much did an ad-lib promo where he was like, "You want truth? You can't handle the truth." Well, our truth is that we're the best here.
Boo! You ain't turning this around. WWE looks like such a bully. They're just bully and Republican bad guys. Literally, they just want to cut off your Medicaid and Medicare. That's what WWE wants to do.
Come on, baby Seth. We're already getting comments from the pro WWE fans like we're too anti WWE. You guys are biased. You're just
biased at all. I mean, we watch WWE, we enjoy it when it's enjoyable, but this year ain't it, man. Like, come on. If WrestleMania is the biggest indicator of that, then we got a rough road ahead of us.
They like people have to understand. I think that in 2023, like 2022, the end of 2022 into 2023, we're grading Triple H based on the guy that was here for the past like 50 years before. And of course, in comparison to him, Triple H is always going to look like the greatest booker ever. But now we're in 2025. This is year 3 of Triple H being the head of creative. Now we're basically grading him in comparison to himself.
Right.
And this is below the last 2 years. It's quite obvious. If you really want to be obvious, if you really want to be honest, it is below the quality he was giving us the last 2 years.
And it happens with bookers. This isn't a novel thing. It fucking happens. It's burnout. It fucking happens. And then on top of that, this fucking power struggle that's happening, and then it's just throwing off like the long-term planning that you may have had, and just throwing these wedges in there on the whim of a fucking steroided up fucking madman. Like, what the hell?
The madman. Bala says WWE are not colleagues, they're colonizers. I've been calling WWE Drake for years, man. We also got Chase in the chat. Good for joining us. Thank you for joining us. He says, if Vince was still in charge, we all know Americano would be winning Money in the Bank for sure. Yeah, probably. He's like, I'm just bringing it all together. You know, we got Worlds Collide, and we got Money in the Bank. We're gonna put it in one. Our main luchador, El Grande Americano
From the Gulf of America, pal. What more could they want?
Thank you for sharing the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to support, click.
So
that link.
I'm not in the know. What happened to Masa?
He got a neck injury. and they basically started a GoFundMe because he's not going to be working for a while. It's basically to help his recovery from the neck injury.
When was this?
He's in one of those the Japanese promotions. I'm not sure which one. I think Valhalla can shed more light, or Blood Money in the chat can shed more light in it, because they are the ones sharing the link here, so they can provide more information, please, for baby Seth. We got Chase, who says tape collisions and collisions after Dynamite are hit or miss. Yeah, I agree with what Chase is going for. He says the great collisions are the ones, the live ones, I feel. He says never miss for me. Yeah, they're usually either good to great. Yeah, the live especially this year. The live collisions have been really good.
I've noticed that too. It's weird what a difference being live makes, but it makes a big fucking difference.
We got Christian Ramos, who says it's so weird how FTR seem to only work collision. LOL. They are the collision. They're the collision cowboys. They're the collision guys. They're the heads of collision. They're gonna collide. Them, the Paragon and Daniel Garcia. They've been drafted to collision.
That hasn't been it for me either. It's just a lot of the same vanilla flavor.
We got Christian Ramos, who says WWE is in its Empire Strikes Back phase. That's a good way to put it. I don't know if Return of the Jedi is happening anytime soon. How many years was it between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi? You're that old, Johnny. It was when you were like,
I'm old, but I'm not a Star Wars guy, so I don't fucking know, man.
Chilla with Shay says, I hate both companies equally. Same here. Especially this week. They gave me a 4-hour show on Wednesday.
All they wanted was some of your time, fellas. Come on, y'all always going out and shit. They just wanted some of your time, man. Damn, show some loyalty.
Sleep. I like to sleep.
Spend time with your family and friends.
Chuck Berry says they speak in 100% facts. Thank you. We got Davion, who says we will criticize anything, regardless of who gets mad. We don't do bias over here. 1000%. I don't. You guys. I had a whole rant last week. I've been called the WWE show, AEW show. I just hate on anything equally. It was so great. Last week we had Auntie Collins in the chat. And I watched her show on Fightful Overbooked. Wrestling made me cry, and Kylie gave me the phrase that I want on my gravestone. She said, and I quote, "SP3 makes me want to be a better hater."
I love it. Channeling her Jack Nicholson from As Good as It Gets. I like it.
And of course, we would not be able to do a flagship podcast without her presence. She is the princess of all the Tru Heels, our tribal queen herself, Miss Krissy Luv. How are you doing?
Woo! Hi, guys. Sorry. I'm hot. I'm sweating. I've been running around trying to get everything together. How y'all doing? What's happening? Sorry. Nobody didn't want me to be great this morning, I swear. And you see, I still have my head tie on. I look a mess, but I'm here. It's whatever.
You could have took your time. You saw Johnny was here in the passenger seat.
You're right. I was just trying to get here as soon as I can. So yeah.
She's hustling, man. She got opinions to get off her chest.
Dedication to the Saturday grind. We also got here. To answer your question from earlier, Johnny says, Blood Money says Masa Takanashi got injured by Chris Brooks' DDT show on March 20th. So
okay,
there you go. We got Luis, who says,
better, obviously.
Yeah, hopefully.
Producer, are you staying with us the whole time? Are you
I'm gonna go
disappear?
in the back and get some photos up.
Okay,
yeah,
no problem.
He's got to help us. He got to help us on the background. That's where he's at home. He's at home, and then he can talk shit to us in the private chat. Louis says Collision is a solid 6 out of 10 show with occasional 8 out of 10 episodes. I would say like Collision in 2024, you're 100% on point. Collision in 2025 has been solid 7 out of 10 shows for me, and then the occasional 8 to 8.5 episodes here and there. I think it's been up a notch this year, especially the live ones, and even the tape ones are usually better than what we got on Wednesday.
AEW overall has been better, and I think a lot of it is because of the smaller crowds. So, like they did the New Orleans episode in a bigger arena a couple months ago, and that was like the worst episodes of the year, if I remember correctly. And it was like right after the Dynamite where they surpassed Nitro in terms of episodes too.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the one with Master P. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumble up if I do. We got Chilling with Jay says we skip in Return of the Jedi and we go into Phantom Menace. I mean, Phantom Menace is not that much better than Return of the Jedi, to be fair. Out of the next trilogy, I feel like the only one that's good is the Sith. Sith is the only one that's good. I know.
I have no idea what y'all talking about. I ain't seen none of these.
You fucking nerds.
I only saw
nerds.
Nerd alert.
Nerds.
Stuff you in a locker.
We got Senior Nerd who says Krssi Zoe Stark's voodoo child is still working with news. She would be back till after WrestleMania 43. God damn, Krssi, you're working overtime like that? That's why you're late? You had to make sure she's not back like before like 2 years from now, WrestleMania.
Senior Nerd, I resent that. First of all, that's not even cool at all. Like, bruh. But you got her on contract, but you don't want to give R-Truth his flowers and give him his right money that he deserves.
Oh come on! Oh come on! Really, we doing this now?
He started it. I wasn't even gonna mention her name, but he started it. So
he started it. Also, one more super chat donation before we let baby Seth bid us adieu. Valub says, PSA, don't waste your time on the Carter 6. It's as bad as they said it is.
I heard that the Carter 6 was terrible. But he hasn't put out good music in like years though, guys. So let's be kind of like fair on this. Come on.
I'll leave with this. I saw someone a non-wrestling group chat I'm in sent me a Twitter post from the Public Enemies podcast where they compared this album to Ric Flair's last match.
You know what? Not the last.
So even my non-wrestling friends, know how to compare this directly.
Damn, that's
like,
sad.
They said, Jesus, Chase said Celtics Shaq. That's when Shaq was like 300 pounds. Oh my God.
Damn, yo.
Pretty sad. And
Christian, and he had the nerve to be having concerts out here. You just might as well just do concerts and just do all your old music. It's fine. It's okay. Like you don't have to put out music. Just be on people's just be on guest star on people's stuff and you'll be all right.
He had the nerve to get mad that they picked Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl.
That's also very true. Yeah, no, you haven't been good in years, sir. You're lucky. Like someone said, he's like the Crypt Keeper, but still alive. Like he's just aging. He's aging faster than life, but he's still alive. Like,
yeah, man. He's still on lean and all that shit.
He's still like they said some shit. They said, yeah. Listen. If you're a fan of the show, Lil Wayne, we love you. Just want to put that out there first, right?
Come on and speak your piece.
I'll be honest though. Maybe this might get me some more backlash in the chat. We'll see. But I've never been that big of a Lil Wayne fan. That whole him calling himself.
I'm just telling you.
No, I'm talking about at the height of Lil Wayne. Oh. I was not a Lil Wayne fan. Him saying that he was the best rapper alive. I'm like, did all these other rappers die or something? I know Biggie and Pac died, but I ain't know all these other rappers died. Like, geez. I've never been that big, not big on him. Yeah. So
again, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, when was the last time Lil Wayne was something to talk about?
I think the height of Lil Wayne was that rock album sucked. The height of Lil Wayne to me was the Carter 3, and a lot of people say the Carter 3 is not even that good compared to like the Carter 2. I like the Carter 2. I like the Carter 3. I like the Carter 1. I never loved it. I never would put these albums in my like top 10. Someone that I think is a worse rapper than him, but has a better album than any of the Lil Wayne albums. 50 Get Rich or Die Trying is a top 10 rap album of all time. I don't think I ever heard a top 10 worthy Lil Wayne album.
That's fair to say, yes.
So, but Baby Seth, after we just shitted on Lil Wayne, and you're get in trouble for that if you ever go to New Orleans, and you also insulted New Orleans, saying that was the worst Dynamite of the year as well. You're on a roll today. Let people know.
This one that just passed.
No, not this one.
From a couple months ago. I love New Orleans, man. I'm dying to go back, but
same.
I don't know,
I'm dying to go back.
Apparently,
but WrestleMania, they ruined that part.
I know, right? Even WWE don't want to step foot there, man. What's up? What's going on?
You want to give any parting words, Baby Seth?
Yeah, man. Don't be a bully, man. Fuck you, WWE. Why are you just out here being the way you are? You're just trying to take away people's money. Like, I mean, I'm sure you got this in the news. They're trying to renegotiate Roman's contract. Man, it's a cancer survivor.
No, that's
what
fake
the fuck?
news. That's fake
news.
That's
fake news.
That's fake news. That's fake news.
All right.
Don't worry.
Right,
see, I'm fair. I'm fair here. We're only shit on. If you're gonna shit on WWE, we gotta have the real news, not fake news.
Well, they still assholes. So just be good to the boys, man. Come on, man. It's not all about profits. People over profits. That's my motto.
We appreciate you always, Baby Seth. Thank you as always.
Peace out. Have a great show, guys.
Appreciate you, brother. We got a bunch of people who I think are reacting. Just talk about Lil Wayne in the chat right now. Davion says, "Y'all
he was
remember
at the
that
Garden last night?"
Oh, he was. I didn't.
Yeah, he did a sold out show in the Garden last night.
Hey, he's still popular.
No, listen. I again, from what I seen, it looked like the concert was really good. Again, I'm sure he probably did some of this new music, which is fair. But hey, what do I know? I didn't listen to it, so I can't even give you my fair judgment yet. So when I do listen to it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet. I don't know if I will listen to it by the reviews that I've been hearing from y'all in the chat and anywhere else. But we got Davion who says, "Y'all remember that performance at WrestleMania 40? Yikes!" Yeah, that was really
yeah. I forgot about that. He was at 40.
Yeah, he brought Jey Uso down to the ring.
Right.
It's just me, else. Day 1 inch, just me, else. And day 1 inch.
That's fair because I went to the bathroom at that time. So yeah.
Fair. Chilla Chase says, "I love Weezy, but he isn't the best ever. Just enjoyed his music." Christian says, "The last time Wayne was hot, I was still in still in college with hopes and dreams. LOL." Well, there you go. Yep. This is why Volov says this is why they pulled Mania. Wheezy.
You know what? Oh my God. Okay. Well, fair.
Christian says, "If I was AEW, I'm putting a stadium show in NOLA next year. LOL." Yo, they
should.
Petty. Be petty. Powder program New Orleans. Yeah,
they should. Because it's not even right. You want to troll us? We'll troll you. We're gonna do a stadium show in New Orleans. They really should. I like that, Christian. Let's put it out there. Let's put that out there.
Manifest this.
Let's manifest that. Yep. We have to because you
gotta manifest anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So to update everyone who watches Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment, and as well as Miss Krissy Luv, I am through 3 seasons of The Shy.
What?
3 seasons. 3 seasons of The Shy.
You literally was just on the first season, bro. Son.
I just turn it on and I watch it through my work shifts, and I work like 30, anywhere between like 30 to 40 hours a week writing. So I just have it on in the background and watching it periodically as I'm doing articles. And yeah, it's a good show.
It's a really good show. It's good.
Crazy how they shot Ronnie though. That was crazy. This dude Bakari out here wilding.
Keep watching, friend. Just keep. I need you to just stay. Keep. It's gonna. season 4 is he's gonna go to the stratosphere. Watch, it's gonna push it forward faster.
Yeah, and they did, and I had to do my research. I watched his Vlad TV interview with Jason Mitchell, aka Brandon from the Shy, because I was like, when they started off season 3, and I was like, oh, what? What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell just happened?
Yeah. I told you. They literally just like wiped him out. Yep.
Was like stunned.
Like he was him and his lady was never there, right? Like they never even like up.
And then I saw the background of that his lady tried to the actress tried to say that he was like sexually harassment and stuff like that. And then he had another show where he had he got dropped from his agency. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I think he got canceled quick. He's never recovered. And I don't even think he was found guilty for any of those things at all.
I don't know.
He out here like the Velveteen Dream.
Oh damn!
Sorry, I had to compare one of the two together so you can understand what I'm talking, where I'm coming from. So yeah.
Jesus, damn shame.
But yeah, they just wiped him off like it never happened. I didn't want to tell you this. I had to wait for you to see it because then you understand what happened. But yes, and I was the same way. Wiped like he never even like and. It has a great story. They continue it on, but it you can see the shift and the difference of when that happens.
And he was like my favorite character.
He was
my favorite character because I felt bad for him. Everyone wins except for Brandon. That's one of the lines he said. I was like, that's actually his whole character. Everybody wins except for Brandon.
And look what happened.
And then they did the whole Ronnie redemption arc with him saving Keisha. That was a great. I thought season 3 was really good because of the whole Keisha storyline. The whole Keisha story, Keisha kidnap storyline. That was really good. That was a really good.
And she was running their nose the whole time. Yep.
That was a really good arc for the whole season, and it also completed the redemption arc for Ronnie killing Coogie in the first episode. And then I was like, everything is way too good for Ronnie right now. I was like, something bad's about to happen. I was like, the whole episode, I'm like, he said, "Oh, I'm leaving. I'm getting a ticket. I'm getting up out of here." I was like, this nigga's not gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it.
when they be like, oh, when they start saying they sorry and they redeem themselves.
I was like, everybody cool with him now. I was like, oh, he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. I was like, it's like Power. This is one of these shows that just like it is. When things are going well for somebody, they probably gonna die.
Oh, it happens every time. Every show, you be like, I'll be up. This person's about to die. This person is gone. Like it's over. So. We shall see. How did you feel about how did you feel about the first episode of BMF?
I watched it this morning. I thought the Mexico stuff I'm not into. I wasn't into it when they teased that at the end of season. What was that? Season 3. Yeah. And I'm not into it in this season, and the fact that we're gonna keep splicing in what happened. I wish they would have just done the first episode as just solving the whole Mexican thing instead of just leaving it open ending. But when they got back to Detroit and Meech returned, I was like, okay, this is the BMF I enjoy. This is the BMF, and Lamar showed up and B Mickey showed up. I was like, oh, okay, we got my characters back. This is actually pretty decent here. And
so what you're saying is you don't like Terry carrying the show by itself. He's whack.
I don't like Terry. I prefer Meech over Terry for sure. I'm sorry you got shot in the eye and you got a lazy eye and stuff. Da Vinci. I don't like Da Vinci on All American. Why would I like him on BMF?
I liked him on All American. I wasn't mad at it. He was there one season. They didn't even give him a damn chance.
Nah, he was there a few seasons.
You sure?
He was there a few seasons. Yeah.
He came that last season because of what's his name's daddy. Then he got the scout. Then he moved away with his mama. Then he came.
He was there for like 2 seasons, and then he was in an episode in this last season as well.
Yeah, him and Spencer, they was together.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, whatever.
we got Power Driver giving us an update on his watch assignment.
Okay.
He says, guys, no spoilers, but that first episode to the second season of Yellow Jackets, damn, not gonna lie, I was watching at night, scared the shit out of me. Yeah, man. My missus was getting nightmares on the Yellow Jackets. We had to take a clear break. I think it was during season 2. We had to take a clear break.
Because he was just doing too much.
Yep.
Just doing too much foolishness.
Yep. We got Vala who says, wait, they brought back BMF. I thought there was an issue between Big Meech and 50. I think that most of the time when you ever hear about 50 having an issue with somebody on one of his shows, it's usually to get that show in the news and in the headline so people pay attention to it again. It's basically a ratings ploy. When 50 does that type of stuff. And I think that's what it was with him.
I'm trying to know he's a troll.
Yeah. Well-known troll. If you don't know, then check out all his posts about Diddy. And
I don't know who's worse, him or Cameron. They're both trolls.
Oh no, 50's worse. Have you been seeing his whole campaign on Diddy?
Yes.
Me and my missus be watching Diddy. I mean, the Diddy post by 50 like it's an actual show because every day it's something new from 50. He got
always
AI
something
shit.
He got so much, and he's like having a blast right now. Like you cannot tell me that this is not a kid like at a candy store. Like he is just like a big ass troll.
He's having the time of his life. We got Greg Carter II says Terry and Hoop should not carry the show. Absolutely not. Like, what are we doing?
Terry and who?
Terry and Hoop. Hoop is his number 2.
The guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The heavyset guy. Yeah, he's
I
cool.
like Hoop.
I like Hoop. I just don't like Terry. Terry's just so emotional and pussy whipped. Thank God he ain't with Lakeisha anymore because man,
even though he want to be with her, but she's like, no.
She out here talking to Boom again in jail and shit.
She ain't. She's so not trust. I knew she couldn't be trusted. I was like, this chick right here. But you, my wife, we have kids and we're bound for life, and I'm gonna always be with you, and we're gonna. Girl, shut up. And then I popped because that was the guy from All American. It was the guy from All American.
What?
Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom is the guy from All American. I forgot. I was like, was that the same guy from before?
Was All American Homecoming.
Homecoming. That's it. Yeah, Homecoming. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his? I think his name was Damien.
Yes, Damon.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I was like, I recognized him. I was trying to pinpoint it, so thank God you said that because I was trying to pinpoint it. Like, who is
this guy? Yeah, because I was like, that's not the same Boom that they had from before. But
nah.
So I was like, wait, that's the dude from Homecoming. I was like, oh, okay. He ain't got a terrible haircut, but it's cool.
We got Teddy in the chat who says Vince is holding your backs. What? No. Maybe this is another troll since we said trolls gotta show up in the chat. I don't know. But Valov says 50 is a generational hater and troll. Indeed. Yes. Yeah, definitely. But we want to shout out all of y'all in the chat, as well as all of y'all supporting us across social media with our Tru Heel roll call. Our top 3 conversation starters are Tru Heel Trinity on Facebook. You got Joe Bellini. You got number 2, Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. Number 1, Stewie John Palmer. Patreon backers, you got Vala. You got Negro Buck Nick Jackson, Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, John, Martin, Dolores, James, Allen, Santo, and Justin Rich. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. But without further ado, let's get into what we missed. And we're going to start off with last night's Friday Night SmackDown. The show featured Seth freaking Rollins from Monday Night Raw, along with his new crew, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, or as I like to call them, the Braun Stars, kicking off the show to stake their claim to the Money in the Bank briefcase before being interrupted by the real crew on SmackDown, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and JC Mateo in a battle of groups that WWE refused to name. because this is basically this is the Bloodline versus Dangerous Alliance, but WWE refused to call them either one of those things. Sikoa called out Rollins for trying to make his own bloodline, while Seth called out Solo having problems with Fatu. This led to Jimmy Uso defeating Mateo in a singles matchup thanks to a distraction from Fatu.
This nigga out here losing. He just got here. This is crazy.
To further the tension between the former bloodline, backstage Solo talked trash to JC about Fatu not being too bright and being all gas, no brains. But he didn't notice
Solo.
that Fatu was eavesdropping on that, so we'll see how that develops tonight at Money in the Bank. Later in the show, you had LA Knight beat Aleister Black via disqualification when Seth freaking Rollins ran out to interfere and had the Braun Stars attack both Knight and Black. Seth laid out LA Knight the curb stomp to stand tall here. And then in the main event, you had Penta and Andrade defeating the Creed brothers in a good tag team matchup. Post-match, you had Seth and the Braun Stars attack Andrade and Penta, laying them both out until Cody Rhodes came down to confront the Dangerous Alliance after a promo from Paul Heyman hyping up Seth winning Money in the Bank. They were confronted by Cody. It looked like the Braun Stars were about to attack when the music of Jey Uso hit. Seth and his boys left when Uso hit the ring. That led to Cody and Jey Uso cutting a promo on their opponents for Money in the Bank and John Cena interrupting, but this only set up a blindside attack by Logan Paul, who knocked out Jey Uso with some brass knuckles. And then it kicked off an attack with Cena hitting Cody with a WWE Championship. They laid out their Money in the Bank opponents, and then Cena cut a promo bigging up himself and Logan, and even responding to the "We Want Truth" chants with "You can't handle the truth." And he says, our truth is, this is your future. I'm going to be the last real champion and leave with this title. And this man will elevate that title to the next level. Then we had also Zelina Vega picked up a win over Piper Niven in a Bakersfield street fight, thanks to an assist from Julia. Post-match, Julia dropped Zelina with the Northern Lights bomb to stake her claim for the WWE Women's United States Championship. We heard from Bo Dallas, who talked about wanting to end the brotherhood within the SmackDown tag team division, which led to all the tag teams wanting to go after the Wyatt Six to get some revenge, despite admitting that they're scared of them. You had WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton had a promo talking about Money in the Bank that was interrupted by Rhea Ripley, who says she was going to win the briefcase and go after either title. And then that led into Ripley teaming up with Alexa Bliss and Stephanie Vaquer to defeat Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Naomi in a terrific trio matchup to hype the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So some good wrestling on the show. I like the show-long narrative with Seth and the Braun Stars attacking all the members of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That was good as well. Otherwise, this is another episode that was like mid. It was like a 6 out of 10 at best.
At best, if that. And I was just like, oh my God, this show is still on. It was like, and I was still like trying to distract myself doing other things. And I had it on as like background. I'm like, what time is it? I'm like, it's only 10 o'clock.
When will these wrestling companies know? Like the most we can take on a weekday is a 2.5 hour show.
It's 2.5 hours. And then you do this on a Friday of all nights. Like, you know, the summer is coming. People are not really going to be invested in this whole 3 hour SmackDown. I'm just letting you know this right now.
But like this is why I was like, why are these people listening to Triple H, who was like, oh yeah, we're only gonna do this until June, you know, we're not gonna do it after. Dude, shout outs to John Pollock of Post Wrestling. He did the research of the ratings. Krissy, did you hear these numbers for the ratings in November of 2024 when the USA Network only had, you know, SmackDown for 2 hours, and then they would have like other shows after Scare Tactics and stuff like that from 10 to 11.
Right.
they were doing, I think, 400,000 viewers with like a 0.009 18 to 49 demo.
Okay.
Now in February of 2025 with SmackDown's third hour, they're averaging 1.4 million viewers, which is like a 200% increase in viewership. Yes, USA Network gonna keep paying WWE to do 3-hour SmackDowns regardless of the quality, because these wrestling fans will continue to watch it.
We're the problem because we keep watching it. That's why it's our fault.
That's what you realize. We're the problem.
We are the problem because we watch this because of this new that we have to talk to you guys about this. We really don't want to, but we have to. Especially
to be fair, Krssi, I'm not part of the problem. I watch it on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, because you're overseas, though.
Yeah, true. This is also true. I would get a VPN if I was if I'm at home. I'm now gonna get a VPN, so I don't.
Okay, so when you're outside
and not
of
be a part of the problem.
Okay, so if you're outside of the United States, you can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, you can watch all WWE on Netflix.
Oh, that's good.
Very convenient. It's very.
I'm about to say that's actually genius. So when I go away to St. Vincent in next month, I'll be watching it because I'm like, how am I gonna? I'll be back in time for All In. I come back on the 13th.
Nice.
So I'm like, I'll be back. So I'm like,
well no, All In's on the 12th.
The Saturday.
Yeah.
Damn it! I thought it was a Sunday. Shit. God damn it! Thank God you said something because I was gonna be gone.
I got you back. You'll be back in time for Evolution.
I don't want to see Evolution.
God damn, Krssi! You're supposed to support the all women's pay-per-view.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I don't really. It's not like the first one. You know what I'm saying? Like the first one was, it was a reason why they was doing it. This time, I think they're just doing it as a consolation, just to shut people up and then not have people just not watch AEW stuff. That's really just what it is. I feel like there's no real meaning behind this show. That's why I'm like that. That's why I'm saying this, because if you really cared about the women, you promote this more. Like you don't give a damn about this stuff. That's why I'm saying that. And I am for the women always. But I feel like this is just something just like shut women up, or just to like shut people that's watching AEW, not for them to watch anything and just go over there. That's what I mean.
We got Aubrey who says Road Dogg needs to be fired. Once he was promoted on SmackDown. Story is going downhill. I mean, yeah, Road Dogg's part of the problem as well. I agree. We got Bert Driver says, what the fuck? The same shit happened all night on SmackDown. Yeah, they just basically beat over your head that Seth is not winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
it would be way too obvious at this point. Like, it was already obvious heading into SmackDown that Seth was the favorite to win, and maybe it was too obvious for him to win. But the fact that he was in 4 segments on last night's show, it's like you can't have him win now.
So like who's the guys now? Well, we'll go over at the end. So we have Seth,
LA Knight,
Andrade,
Penta, Solo, and El Grande Americano.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Yo, the women's like lineup laps the men's lineup.
Trip like quad date. The girls better close it out. The girl should close it.
I don't know. I think the tag match is gonna close out.
Oh right. I forgot all of
Yeah.
SP, this is how vested I am in this pay-per-view, because I don't really know what's on the fucking card, to be honest. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
This is like
we got Davion who's asking the right questions. Why has this trio not gotten a name yet? They refuse to give Seth Rollins' group a name. They've been together for like nearly 2 months without a name.
Without a name.
And then the former bloodline has gone on for months without a name.
They won't even say bloodline. They just
no. They can't call them the bloodline apparently because Solo lost to Ulafala. Those are the rules, I guess.
And we haven't seen Roman in weeks.
We
What
got
great
Davion.
storytelling you're doing, Paul. Great stuff.
Davion, who says WWE Evolve greater than SmackDown, and I never watched Evolve a day in my life. It is better. It is better. We got a super chat donation from our good brother Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for
Thank
the
you, Vala.
support. He says, as mid as that show was, and I hated the final shot of SmackDown, I loved Cena taking the truth chance. Our truth sounded like our truth from him. Yeah, I like Cena responding to the "We Want Truth" chant only because it felt like WWE was just going to ignore it completely.
They are. They're not even like acknowledge. It's some people's TVs. I heard it on my end on Monday. Some people said they didn't even hear it.
Yeah, maybe you might be onto something. We got.
I'm getting some water. Give me a sec. Just keep talking.
Guys, well, thank you, Vala, for the super chat donation. We got Call Me Mr. Bonda. It says, understandable, Miss Krissy of Evolution #2 is a here damn pay-per-view this year. Vote of no confidence for Hunter. Yeah, and our producer mentions WWE probably scrubbed the audio on the replay. LOL. Yeah, they probably did. Probably did. Yeah, and Christian also says the same thing. Bonda said. He says Evolution is the here. Damn, you happy now? PLE, sadly, SMH. Yeah, I don't think anyone's holding it against Krssi that she's not as enthused about all of that. But let's talk about the big news of the week, which, of course, is R-Truth departure from WWE, because the fans have been vocal about it on every weekly show this week from WWE. So let's talk about it. R-Truth is departing WWE, and as he announced via social media last Sunday, the WWE star posted to his Twitter account to reveal that he is exiting the company, writing, I'm sorry to inform you all. I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you who was along for the ride. Thank you for all the love, support, and appreciation you have given me over the years. Thank you. Both Fightful Select and PW Insider report that the news is legitimate and that WWE is not renewing Truth's contract. A new report has some additional details on R-Truth's exit from WWE and the reactions from inside the company. Fightful Select reports that Truth was contacted from someone in talent relations over last weekend and told of not being renewed. There is no word on exactly when his deal expires, and according to sources, Truth was told that he had not been in trouble nor done anything wrong. Fightful notes that the reaction from within the company is different than any departure they've covered before, and was that of complete shock, with the site noting that it is by far the most criticized and universally disliked release they have ever covered. One top talent in the company called it total nonsense, and another called the company ruthless. A number of talent have spoken with Truth to check on him, and everyone, including Truth, were confused by the matter. Truth was one of the top best-selling T-shirts in recent weeks, with his Ron Cena shirt that dropped for his Saturday night's main event matchup with Cena. It is noted that there is a good chance that Truth owns the rights to his theme song, as he self-produced it and used it for a couple of years in TNA before coming back to WWE. And the site notes that there is already interest from top independent companies about potentially booking him. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, R-Truth's WWE departure was a financial decision by the company, in the sense that his last contract was so high that for the level they were using him, they felt it made no sense. Wrestling Observer also reports that those in TNA have already said that they want to make R-Truth an offer. Truth's current WWE run lasted 17 years, as he returned to the company in 2008 after a 7-year run in TNA. He had a previous run in WWE from 1999 through 2001, where he worked as K-Quick. He is a former 2-time United States champion, a 2-time tag team champion, and a 54-time 24/7 champion. R-Truth had the support of the WWE fans in attendance at this week's Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, with "We Want Truth" chants taking place on all those shows. Chants for the departing WWE stars first took place on the broadcast during Monday Night's Raw. And then in an interview with the Pat McAfee show, Sheamus spoke about the recent exit of R-Truth and why Truth was one of the most beloved superstars on the WWE roster. Truth, of course, announced that in his post on Sunday. Sheamus said on the Pat McAfee show, "He's one of the most beloved because he is one of the most entertaining. I had my first dark match against him when I came up in 2007, I think, or 2008, he recalled. I came up on the road for dark. R-Truth had just come back. After he was with the company, he went to TNA and he came back again. So when we had the dark match together on the road, and from then we bonded. That fella walked into the dressing room and it was just laughs. He has this contagious laugh that just lights up the room." Sheamus also speculated that, in the past he's left and then he's come back, and he believes that R-Truth will be back in WWE. And also The Miz commented and said that he believes that R-Truth will be perfectly fine coming off the heels of this successful run in WWE. But I did a whole live stream on Sunday because I was that shocked. I thought this was shocking news. This was a guy that I thought was a WWE lifer. And I think that's why it's gotten this type of reaction, because a lot of people, he came unexpectedly. Like, it wasn't someone that people were begging to see every week. And of course, a lot of us had our complaints about him being in that matchup with John Cena during his retirement run. But a lot of that, I think the criticism came from the fact that he hadn't been used in a major spot before. And we knew that WWE wasn't putting the right amount of creative into making it an intriguing and compelling story, which they didn't. Yeah. And if you should know as a company that his contract is expiring, why didn't John Cena just destroy him at Saturday night's main event? This beloved superstar that you can get heat from, and Cena can get heat for beating up someone that the fans love so much, or make it like a title versus career matchup where he loses and he loses his career and stuff like that. There's so many different ways they could have gone about it. This is one of the more baffling decisions that I've seen from WWE. But Krssi Luv, what was your reaction to R-Truth's departure from WWE, and what's your reaction to the reaction of the fans with the "We Want Truth" chants, as well as the locker room's reaction, where this is one of the most universally disliked releases or departures from WWE in recent memory?
Again, very shocking, because again, he was just used the week prior in a main event. Like you said, if you guys kind of knew that you was going to do this, you should have had more. They're not thinking long term. They're just thinking moment by moment. And you can tell by the stories that they're putting on and giving to us. And we say this every week. Because if you guys know that this contract thing just didn't come up out of the blue. You guys kind of knew this was happening months ago. And you guys got a list of people, and like people, how much money is going. You got people that do this as a living, this is their job. And you guys knew that this was going to come up, and you knew that this was it was expiring. So you had to tell him eventually what way. And for him, it was his decision not to go back because of the money. Correct? It was his decision.
No, they called him. Talent Relations called him and told him, "We're not renewing your contract."
So it wasn't even Paul. It was Talent Relations. That's terrible.
Nope. Like that's what Vala's saying here in the chat. He said, "I can't believe they got some random staffer tell him that they're not renewing him. At least Paul could have called him."
Paul, Sean, Road Dogg, somebody in the back of Bruce, somebody that worked there that does these things could have called him directly. This is terrible. Fuck y'all. It's like you didn't use him, but when you needed to use him, he was great. Anytime that you needed something done, he's good. And you could have put him on a Legends contract.
Yeah.
You still got people on Legends contracts. But you did this because he'll be used somewhere better. I mean, I believe he would go back, no problems. because of the relationships he's built with everyone there, but it's a slap in the face. And it's not his fault that you guys was paying him and y'all not using him. Whose fault is that?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, oh, we can't pay him at the level of where we're using him.
You're
then why
paying
don't
other
you
people
use him?
foolishness?
Why do you use him in a bigger spot? Because he has a best-selling T-shirt for a reason.
Anytime he comes out, it is golden. Anytime he come out and do a parody against someone that's a heel, and he makes shirts and merch, everything has skyrocketed. When he was doing the stuff with the Judgment Day, those shirts were booming. I wish I bought all those shirts now, but they don't got them no more.
We got Vala who says he'll probably go to TNA so WWE can use him for free. I mean,
don't do it.
Why not?
I'm not telling you how to get your money. You get your money as you have a family. You got a whole. You gotta get these checks some kind of way. So.
Yeah, and apparently from what was said by Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer, basically Triple H is given a budget that they need to cut, and they basically cut the people that are getting paid higher than where they're using him. And R-Truth was one of the first guys that was on that cutting room floor.
You know what? There's other people that you could have put on. You know, I'm gonna be quiet.
I mean, he's not the only one this week.
He's not that's what I'm saying. He's not the only one. You got a lot of people just sitting there.
But did you expect the fans to react in this way? I didn't. I didn't think that the fans would be chanting "We want truth" on every episode of television this week.
I didn't expect that at all. No, and I'm happy that they are doing this. Like, no, put a fire underneath their fucking asses. This is what they get, because this is how people feel when you get rid of people's favorite wrestlers, credible wrestlers that people like give an impact, and he's one of those people that gives impacts.
He always did more with less.
Make lemon out of lemonade.
He was given chicken shit, and he made it into chicken salad.
Every time you put him out there, he will give 150. I promise you. And it shows in the product. He would make wrestlers just come out of character every time.
Everyone's been bringing it up this week, but I'll bring it up here. The Brock Lesnar Paul Heyman segment where he said he was going to throw Paul Heyman over the top rope at the Royal Rumble, and it made Brock for like the first time break character and start laughing
ever. And it's funny, and they're trying to be serious, and he probably not even going to say what he's going to do. He just like lets it just like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, blah blah blah, and he always waits till he's out there. But I think everyone loves Truth. Everyone put these.
And R-Truth was like the unk. He's the funny uncle. Yeah, he's the funny uncle. He's the funny uncle at the cookout. You always expect him to be there, but when he's not there, you're like, oh, something's not right.
Something not right. Yeah, something ain't right. Yeah, and
ain't right here. It's a damn shame. Yeah, but it really, I think between this and the two crop of releases that we saw this year, it really is we're getting a sense of what WWE is looking for. If you are not a top end talent that they're using on a consistent or a prominent role, and you're not an up and coming young guy who can rise to that point, they're letting you go. You can't just be a veteran who's on the older side. And like Dave Meltzer also brought up that it's a numbers thing. He was like, he's getting paid a certain amount. He's 53 years old. He's been with the company for 17 years. It's not about loyalty anymore. It's about the numbers. They crunch the numbers. 53 years old. He's not going to be around for that much longer. He's getting paid this amount. We got to let him go. And that's pretty much been the thing when it comes to the releases this year and anybody that they've decided not to renew.
See, I'm not trying to go there, SP, but you keep making me try to go there.
What? Go there. This is what the flagship's all about.
Zoe Starks, Karrion Kross.
Oh my God. I didn't think it was there. You made me hit my head again.
The chat can name a couple of people too that the whole Wyatt family can go. We could keep Nikki, and we could keep What's the young dude that was from NXT? Was he
Joe
getting
Gacy. Joe
We can
Gacy.
keep Joe Gacy, but the rest of them niggas can go. We can get rid of who can we get rid of?
I'm trying to stop her, Kid Cudi. I'm trying to stop her. Like, she keeps going there.
Matter of fact, we can get rid of Karrion Kross and his wife can go. So that's 2 people right there off the chopping block. We can get rid of her and him.
I have to deal with this on
Thursdays
with Jimmy trying to fire people from AEW. Now Krssi trying to get people fired from WWE. Here we are.
Candice LeRae can go.
Why Candice? Candice ain't do nothing wrong.
We can get. They're looking at numbers. Maxine Dupree, she can go. Tozawa, he's like R-Truth. He's a consolation prize. We can keep him. Otis, on the other hand, Titus O'Neil's on a fucking Legends contract. Let's chop that shit off. Let him just be an ambassador and call it a fucking. Let him work at the main office. That's probably what he'd do anyway. I'm just saying, keep Chelsea Green. Zelina, we have to get the belt off her ASAP. But I'm just saying,
we got people like, fuck that, I'm with Krssi.
See what I'm saying? Like, bring R-Truth back and get rid of them motherfuckers. Zoe Starks is at the fucking top of the list. How you get rid of Shayna Baszler and Sonya, but you keep Zoe? Fuck you.
What? Why are y'all this way? Why do y'all just fan the flames when Krssi just be going on?
So you made me spill the damn juice on my. You made me spill that shit all up.
Akira Tozawa now. This is ridiculous. Yes. Basically, what Davion says here, he says Jimmy and Krssi trying to release people.
I'm just telling you what's the truth is, guys. Like,
can't do nothing with
you. Want to see people that's being paid foolishness, garbage. I didn't want to say Sheamus because Sheamus is a good guy too, but let's go to the.
It's ridiculous. Hey, shout outs to Dan in the chat. I see you, Dan. Good to see you, good brother. Congratulations. I know you hit your anniversary writing for Wrestle Talk. Good to see you in the chat. But yes, I mean, this is also true. WWE doesn't always value people. Rusev just got here. He just got here.
Yep, he shouldn't have been back in the first place.
Here we go. Send your nerd saying, yeah, Sheamus should go. And then we got Patrick. Y'all are just supporting this. From Krssi.
Listen, I didn't want to do it. I was trying to be quiet. I was really trying to hold my tongue, but you just said, no, do it anyway. Okay, no problem. Say less.
Y'all, Kid Cudi, I'm the one that's trying to deter her. Not me. Say y'all except for SP3. I don't want to be grouped in with this. And
somehow they got Rusev and his wife on a fucking contract. Get rid of them two now. ASAP.
I will say it is kind of crazy that Lana and Kelly were able to get Legends contracts.
See what I'm saying?
We'll say that.
Why? Because they women and they blonde? Kelly ain't worked a good match in years. She probably hasn't worked a good match ever, but I'm not saying nothing.
All right, we're going to move on to another person who was told that their contract would not be renewed this week. Carlito. PW Insider has an update on another veteran WWE star exiting the company. Hot off the heels of R-Truth leaving due to WWE not renewing his deal, Carlito is reportedly exiting the company as well. PW Insider notes that Carlito's current contract is not being renewed once it expires, and he will be leaving the promotion. Carlito is 46 years old. He's a former WWE Intercontinental and United States champion. He was actually in action at a WWC Summer Madness show in Puerto Rico, his home country, and he won the WWC Puerto Rico title that last weekend. Following Sunday's news of his WWE exit, Carlito confirmed the news of his exit on Twitter, saying, my contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed. On top of that, WWE is demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently, quote unquote, stealing money from the company. I've had my lawyers look into it, and after reviewing my footage on Netflix for the past months, they suggested I paid them back the money. All jokes aside, he said, gracias WWE and especially the WWE Universe, los querí muchos. P.S. I'll reappear again in another 13 years. Dias mi los benink. We got Carlito. Of course, he signed back with the company to return 2 years ago in 2023, initially joining the Latino World Order, LWO, after assisting the group and Bad Bunny at WWE Backlash 2023. He later defected and joined the Judgment Day. He last wrestled on WWE TV on April 18th episode of Friday Night SmackDown, competing in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. What do you think about Carlito exiting the company? I think that this one is almost as confusing as Truth. Not as confusing as Truth. Truth was like a lifer. Carlito just came back. But the fact that he had 2 weeks left and you're telling him we're not going to renew your contract, so basically you don't have to come to work. You got 2 weeks. They can give you a 2-week notice that your contract's going to get renewed and at least do something to write you off of television. You are in one of the top factions on TV. You're telling me WWE you couldn't use that 2 weeks to write him off of television? You just gonna act like he never existed now?
WWE is and people they're making space because they got Mariah May, all these niggas that they gotta pay, that they stole, and said, no, we can give you the bag here. No, we'll give you all of the money you want. Sure. Carlito was one of the glue that helped Judgment Day and kept them surviving this whole time.
He was the funny one. He's the funny one that made them funny. Yeah. He
was the glue that kept this going for this long. And now it's definitely happening. They breaking this shit up. This shit is about to fucking explode in a minute.
Remember that report that Carlito was going to get a big push in 2025?
What did that age?
It aged just as well as the report from WrestleVotes that Finn Balor was in line with it for a big push in 2025.
I hate it here. Mariah June, Mariah Sydney, Mariah Saturn. I don't know what her name is going to be, but
we're going to talk about that shortly here. We got a super chat donation.
And mind you, y'all sent him to work at another at y'all other promotion just to tell him that he don't have to come to work for the next 2 weeks.
Well, to be fair, that's his dad's promotion in Puerto Rico. So
whatever.
Hey.
I mean, at least he can still work. I don't know if he's gonna get the same amount of money, but I'm just saying, thank you, Dan. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, Dan. He says, supporting the Tru Heel Heat. I hope you all are well. Love that Dexter Lumis was seen for 5 frames. Yes, I know you're a big Dexter Lumis fan, a big Dustin Rhodes fan. Appreciate you, Dan, for the super chat donation.
As much as I love Carlito, he can go too, though. They don't need him.
Dear Lord, you just fired like a third of the superstars, between you and the chat.
Ask me if anyone can name any of their songs, or they gonna miss them, or they got any of their merch. I'll wait. Ask me if it's flying off the shelves when you go to the show. They don't even have them at the damn the house shows. So don't even tell me about none of that bullshit, SP.
Fair. We got Castellar Daniel Garcia says Carlito could go to MLW, Japan, Maple Leaf Wrestling, or AEW. I could see that. I could see MLW or I think he's just gonna go to Puerto Rico for a little.
Yeah,
while.
but to say he's just gonna work in the promotion that he was just at, and he's
gonna go back to Puerto Rico for a little bit, and then maybe come back to WWE on a Legends deal. I could see that.
Again, they could have gave all these guys Legends deals because they're legends. When they're called upon to do the work that they need to do, they over exceed.
Yeah.
But Lana got a fucking Legends deal. Kelly.
She's just going off. I love it. I do love it. Krissy's on one today. She had to rush to get here. She's tired of the foolishness, like Davion said. She's just tired. So Dan says Carlito just posted a video with Primo and Epico in their car. He might be going to TNA. To be fair, Primo and Epico were there for like 1 week. They were there for like a couple of weeks, and they haven't been seen since Sacrifice in March. So it felt like they were just there for a short stint, and then they're back in Puerto Rico working over there. So I think maybe I could see Carlito going to TNA. That might work. Where it's like what they said about the R-Truth, like him, Carlito going to go into TNA is just basically him going to a subsidiary of WWE, so they can use him for free. It is crazy though, because Wrestling Observer reported that WWE told talent not to wear R-Truth shirts on television this week, but Dominic Mysterio was able to sneak in wearing the Carlito shirt on Monday Night Raw.
Wasn't that and Liv had it on her boots?
Yeah, she had Carlito on her boots. Yeah.
So it's more impactful of like which one is no one called Carlito's name, and no one tweeted about Carlito after it was done. Everyone tweeted about R-Truth. That's why. So now you
Dom put the Judgment Day members put stuff about Carlito on Twitter.
Okay, as they should. Yes, fair. That's fair. Okay, sure. But we can't wear none of the people merch because these are our friends. It's like when your friend, it's like your work besties get fired, and now you're sad because now you ain't got no one to talk to, and that desk is empty.
He's just looking at the desk, remembering the good times.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They looking at a blank TV because Carlito got the PS5 and the divorce.
Yeah. Okay, now Aubrey, we're not gonna have this blasphemy. Okay, we're not doing this. We're not gonna do this. Okay, he can stay.
Krissy's like, that's where I draw the line.
I draw the line there, with friends. He can stay.
I don't care how many times he gets pinned.
I don't care how many times he gets pinned. Other niggas get pinned as much as him. JC Mateo, aka Jeff Cobbs, just got his job and he getting pinned left and right. Don't give me that bullshit. Don't do it.
Don't do it. But yes, I think we'll talk more about the third person who was had their contract not renewed in a bit here, but we got other news to touch on as well, because the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports more about the whole WrestleMania 42 controversy.
Oh my God.
Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that WWE took another big step towards moving WrestleMania 42 to Las Vegas next year after leaving New Orleans. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, several obstacles that were preventing the move were removed by the city of Las Vegas on Tuesday. The city has been making several concessions in order to get WWE's biggest show back for a second year in a row. One of the two major issues that were preventing a deal was the convention center, which WWE wanted for a fan fest. However, it was already booked and the promoter was refusing to move as they already had a signed contract. The other issue was a concert at Allegiant Stadium just before April 18th and 19th, the dates for WrestleMania 42. The promoter of the concert likewise had a signed contract and refused to move. It's unknown if there were the issues cleared up, but they were the biggest obstacles. Once WWE is clear to do so, they will announce Las Vegas as the host city for next year's show. So we shall see when everything gets solved. But this can kind of like be all in one with the big releases of R-Truth, Carlito, because it's like a few dominoes have been dropping in regards to the fan perception towards WWE. WWE is firing on all cylinders in the most important place to them, which is the bottom line, which is the money that they're making, the revenue, the profits. They're at an all-time high. It's not slowing down anytime soon. They're gonna break gate records over and over again, because they're selling tickets for all the shows, Raw, SmackDown, when NXT wants to run a big show for a premium live event, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, whatnot. Those are all going to sell big tickets. But as far as how the fans are viewing them, it's been a few things one after the other with certain stuff. And, you know, it starts with like The Rock not being part of WrestleMania this year. WrestleMania 41 not being kind of just universally praised in the way that WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40 were. Then it's the high ticket prices, and they're basically pricing a lot of their fan base out of going to a lot of these big shows because of the high ticket prices and where WWE is at right now. Then you had the releases in February, and then the releases at the beginning of May. Then you get the contract not being renewed for an R-Truth, for a Carlito. Then you have the whole big controversy with WrestleMania 42, where they announce it for New Orleans and then pull it from there as a money grab to go back to Las Vegas because that got them so much money this year. It just seems like something that I've said since pretty much, I think you can remember back when you first started on this show in 2019. I tried to tell you then, I try to teach anybody who watches the flagship, WWE don't give a fuck what I say. They don't give a fuck what Krssi says. They don't fuck what anybody says in the chat. They don't care if you like their show, dislike their show, love their show, or gonna defend them, gonna go against them, have bias against them or for them. They don't care about all of that. If you are spending money on their product, that is the thing they care about the most. They care about the bottom line. And I think that all of these different moves and news that has come out about WWE is making that more known to fans that haven't want to listen to that for years. It's making it more known than ever. And do you think that it's more of like WWE has always been this way? They're just making it more obvious right now? Or is this more of a TKO influence that we're seeing more and more over these last couple of decisions that they've been making?
No,
I didn't even mention the whole PR run that they did before WrestleMania with Nick Khan and Triple H and all that nonsense as well. That has a lot to do with it as well.
No, this has been going on for a while now. The older we get, I think the more our eyes are open to see it. They've always been, once we went to entertainment and we changed our name, once we had to, it was more of the entertainment fact and more of the shock value of it all. They didn't really give a damn about the wrestling because they dumbed it down. But the older we've gotten, and we can see through the lenses of what they really care about, and they don't care what the fans say, they're going to keep doing what they need to do to make money. Because again, us fans keep spending money on this foolishness.
Yeah.
So it's our fault. It's us. Again, we keep and people that they made so much money from Vegas that they want to go back there to make more money. And Vegas is not cheap. You can't walk everywhere. You got to get in the Uber. It's a lot of money. And Vegas is only a little section. It's a space. It's not even a whole city.
I was really looking forward to them going to New Orleans because I love New Orleans. I love New Orleans when I went there for WrestleMania 34.
I would have probably went just to go to New Orleans. I probably would have went to the show. But I probably would have went for the camaraderie of just to say, you know what, let me go to New Orleans because I love New Orleans. I just like our producer said, baby Seth, I just been dying to get there. I just haven't been able to go. And that would have been a reason just to say, you know, hey guys, let's just make a trip out of this just to go. Which we probably would have tried to do, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. And yeah, it's even getting to the point where the superstars are like reacting to the prices, like the Randy Orton social media video where he reacted to somebody saying that they spent like $35,000 for the whole weekend of WrestleMania this year. He was like, what the fuck? He was like,
because
and I know Randy's feeling the prices because he probably had to pay for tickets for his whole family to go to St. Louis for Backlash.
Because they're not giving those tickets to them. They have to pay for those tickets, which I found out.
They're not giving out comps anymore.
Which I found out from the time we went to WrestleMania 40. Oh no, he had to pay for them tickets that we were sitting in.
Yeah, Cody paid for the wrestling club to go to WrestleMania. He couldn't just, even though he's the top star and WrestleMania is all about him, he couldn't just ask for the tickets. Nope.
And it wasn't just us that he had so many people that came to see him, and he had to sit them in the crowd and everything. No, this shit ain't free. So that's like some of his salary right there. No one he got to work on. It's just, that's why he take a damn bus. Can't get on no damn plane.
Yeah, and I also think that's also this whole thing where they're making these decisions that is getting some fan backlash and some fan resentment a little bit. But it's also the fact that they're doing that while also announcing, we've set a new record profit, we've set a new live gate, but yet you're releasing these talents, not renewing some talents. And like, I had a whole rant last week about Mariah May and letting these billionaires have broke boy energy, but like, they want this same, they want to talk out of both hands. They want to take the money in one hand and then save the money with the other hand. Yep. And yes, that's business in a nutshell. I understand that. You don't have to make it so obvious though. I think WWE in years past, they've been very good at hiding the other hand. That's saving the money.
Yes. But I think that this time they don't even give a damn no more. Especially now that they're with TKO, they don't care. They have to make this money back. They've made so many deals with others, and they have to recoup it. So they have to make these deals. Rob Peter to pay Paul. That's what it's boiling down to.
We got Dan in the chat who says, I was there this year. It was nice, but the people in Vegas, besides the international ones, weren't having any passion. No. Fun fact, my Uber driver was driving Mark Henry just before me. That's awesome.
Love it.
And what the hell? He said he was told to sit down during the Jey Uso entrance by an older American. I made sure to sit down during the anthem then.
I know you lying, Dan. What? They said sit down during Jey Uso. Why would we sit?
Like that's the whole point, is to stand up. And I was upset when I went to the O2 Dan for London Monday Night Raw and Jey Uso didn't do his entrance. I was like, that's the one thing I wanted to do. It's insane. We got Borrow Driver Finisher who says, I don't know if it's true, but they were saying that Same People was the woman that got hit by the barricade from Austin crashing into her. But record profits though.
Pal Driver, you got that one for today.
Dion says keeping Truth and Carlito would have been a drop in the bucket for TKO. They're really penny pinching these days when they're making record profit. That's a crazy part. Like you can't. I like the NFL makes hand over fist money, but they don't flaunt every time they make a record profit in the same way that WWE does. And I think that's the reason why they don't get the same criticism that WWE does. So,
yeah, that's just
But they do. They definitely get criticism themselves for them being like this too. But they don't get as much as WWE is going to get because they're making a lot of this and their business practices. It's very much in the forefront to a lot of us nowadays, it seems. And our producer says it's because WWE is so insecure about what they are. Yeah, They don't want to be a pro wrestling company. They want to be an entertainment conglomerate. So they very much are like putting on a front. It's like the guy that's broke, but he wants to wear jewelry and all the nicest clothes to make it seem like he's a good catch for a girl. Here we are. But speaking of events with the WrestleMania 42, which will keep you posted on everything that's going on there with the move to Las Vegas. As previously reported, the aforementioned Evolution is coming soon. It will return this July, part of a weekend that includes NXT, Great American Bash, and Saturday night's main event. Fightful Select reports that while the announcement was rumored for a while, the WWE women's roster didn't know it would happen until it was announced publicly. Obviously, there are some expectations, including top talent and one legend that may end up being booked. The reaction was said to be mixed, though. While some on the roster understand what the show means, others were said to be bothered by the curtain call on the first show. They noted that it wasn't something WWE would have the men on the roster do after a show. Another said that if it underperforms against a Beyonce concert, which is set to happen in the same city, and hotel prices increase, WWE will use that as justification for not doing it again. One top talent felt WWE has too many PLEs currently and isn't sure what they'll do with Evolution. Another veteran, however, said they were excited and hoped it could showcase women who aren't used as often. They hope that legends can work with the younger talent to help the build. The talent said that WWE has to actually build to the event to make it successful. While there was less excitement than one would expect, it was said to be because of the booking of the women's division in recent months and how the roster found out. What do you think about the roster not being as enthused as they were with the first Evolution? Now that with the second one, and it's like they basically read your mind, Krssi.
I was listen. What did you asked me? Why you, Krssi? Why are you like that? They feel the same exact way I feel. This is they ain't trying to push nobody. They're not trying to do anything with it. This is just a fucking consolation show. Nothing. They're gonna have to still have the same people doing the same shit the following day.
Yeah.
These wins and losses don't mean a damn thing. Nobody's belts are changing. Nothing's gonna happen.
I'm hoping that it I thought the first Evolution was one of the best shows of 2018, especially for WWE. I thought it was their best main roster show that they did that year. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that we can get the same quality because the women's division of 2025 is much better than the women's division of 2018.
Absolutely.
So I hope it's showcased in the right way.
But you're gonna let Lana and Kelly come to do a match, right? They're gonna be a tag team.
Probably.
Shoot me.
Probably. I mean, probably. I Kid Cudi. It's not us that's being that jaded. That's the report. That's like the jaded. That's how the roster feels. The roster feels like they are just kind of. It's like nigga here, damn pay-per-view. That's how the roster feels. So it's rubs off on the fan base as well. That's just how it is. Sorry. During an interview with the two-man power trip of wrestling this one I will say this report right here, I just am talking about it for the laughs and the giggles. I'm gonna say that this report has 100% bullshit written all over it.
Well, okay.
Just the preface.
I'm ready.
During an interview with the two-man power trip of wrestling, former WWE commentator Jonathan Coachman predicted that Triple H will leave the WWE within the next 18 months.
Oh, please.
According to the coach, this will be because of the CCO's issues with The Rock, who is on the TKO board of directors. Coachman said, and from my time there and my time with The Rock, I know for a fact that he does not not get along with Triple H. That does not go away. They've always been button heads for years and years for a lot of different reasons. The reason I said on my show there's a big power struggle, well, first of all, I've talked to two people close to the situation, and they've told me, but I can't tell you who they are, but I've got really good intel, and we predicted that within 18 months, Triple H will not be running WWE anymore. I actually feel kind of bad for him because I've always really, really liked him, but look at what happened at WrestleMania. He gets inducted into the Hall of Fame for the third time, an hour and 37-minute speech at 1 a.m. in the morning. You've overscheduled the entire week. There's nothing free for fans to go to. And then at WrestleMania, you're going to disrespect Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin, walking them out with everybody else to give a wave to the crowd. And you get your own water music entrance right next to those guys. Coachman believes that The Rock would like former WWE writer Brian Gewirtz to take over as head of creative for WWE.
Okay, Jonathan Coachman. Okay, I get what you're saying, but you full of shit, sir.
I don't believe Coachman at all. That's why I prefaced it with, I think this is 100% bullshit. To be fair, it's just funny bullshit though.
It's funny bullshit, yeah, but Paul ain't going nowhere right now. The Rock could do whatever the fuck he wants. Paul is not going anywhere.
And we got Volop who says, I still predict Brian Gewirtz is running WWE Creative by this time next year. We shall see.
Okay, listen, that's fine. I'm here for that. Listen, if that's what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. So not one McMahon will be a part. Well, he's not even a McMahon, but whatever.
McMahon-in-law.
Right.
WWE Raw on Netflix this week. Last week's show did 2.6 million viewers. In the US, it was a record low on Netflix for the show last week. But this week's show, it featured CM Punk kicking off the broadcast to cut a promo about wanting to win his third Money in the Bank ladder match and going after either Jey Uso or John Cena. Then Sami Zayn came out to give Punk a compelling pep talk about needing him to win tonight's qualifying match and staying focused on it. However, later in the show, Zayn and Jey Uso, they came out to a hilarious entrance that had Sami Zayn doing the Dougie mix with Walk It Out. It was great.
I loved it. It was great.
Great stuff.
And he had his own glasses too. They better sell those.
Before they picked up a win over Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed via disqualification after interference from Seth Rollins to attack the babyfaces until CM Punk made the save with the steel chair. Finally, the Braun Stars and Seth got a measure of revenge when CM Punk was in the Money in the Bank qualifying matchup that was eventually won by El Grande Americano as he pinned AJ Styles in a very good triple threat main event to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match with interference from Rollins, Breaker, and Reed. Post-match, Rollins and the Braun Stars attacked Punk, Zayn, and Uso, ending with two tsunamis on Jay to close the show. The Judgment Days Finn Balor and JD McDonough beat the War Raiders in tag team action after interference from Roxanne Perez. Meanwhile, Liv Morgan didn't want Roxanne Perez's help after telling Finn Balor that she knows what he is doing with the Judgment Day right now. She didn't want it in her match or Raquel Rodriguez's match as she lost to Kairi Sane after interference from Liv and Io Sky. The newest member of the Raw roster, though, Stephanie Becker, got a good video package before her official debut on the brand as she picked up a victory over Ivy Nile and Liv Morgan in a fun triple threat match to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Later in the show, Becker got into a stare down with Rhea Ripley backstage to tease the Money in the Bank ladder match. What did you think about this week's Monday Night Raw on Netflix, Krssi Luv?
Better than SmackDown.
It's a good show. Raw's been the best show to me from WWE weekly.
For the most part, yes. They did much better than, and they're not even at the whole 3-hour show. They're a 2.5-hour show.
Exactly. Perfect length for a wrestling show on the weekend.
2.5.
2.5. Wrestling weekly TV shows should be no more than 2.5 hours. When it goes over 2.5 hours, I'm usually going to be upset a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe a lot of it, but yeah. Maybe a lot of it, but hey, I'll take 2.5 hours over 3 hours or 4 hours. Not with it. That's what I'm like. I think I might have to top out here, but this was a good show mainly because Stephanie Vickers here. Stephanie Vickers just strapped a rocket to her. She's an absolute star. I enjoyed the show long narrative around the Dangerous Alliance, Seth and the Braun Stars.
The Braun Stars sound like some type of like cartoon bullies, yo.
It's basically Monstars, but with Braun in it. Braun Stars from
Space Jam.
From Space Jam, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I mean, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, that they're basically Space Jam characters.
They are. That's why I was like they're like they're like bullies from you ever remember the show Arthur? Remember what was the bully's name on Arthur? Was it Buff? Not Buffy. Damn.
What then? It was like they all had the same name or something like that. The Craigs or something like that.
Damn, I can't remember. Somewhere. Pinky, thank you, pal driver. Binky Barnes.
Binky Barnes, yeah.
Not Pinky, Binky Barnes. They like Binky, but they're big and tough, but they're better than the Monstars from Space Jam. Even better. Love it. Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate you for that. We got Chuck Berries with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, yeah, Booker T for putting that move over. Not much else though, LOL. Booker, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Krssi Luv. Booker T is not what I would call a good wrestling commentator.
No, he's there for the ad libs.
He is an effortlessly entertaining talker. So he is, despite not being a good prototypical wrestling commentator or color commentator at all, he's very entertaining. So he makes up for that.
He's like what's the name that what's the guy that's on AEW that we love that when he sit in the commentator chair? Oh God, what is his name? The bald head with the
Don Callis.
He's like Don Callis.
He's more effortlessly entertaining. Don Callis gets what a wrestling color commentator is supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to support heels, you put over the heels, you put over the baby faces, but you also tear them down at the same time. Yes. That's what Don Callis is good at. That's the prototypical Jesse the Body Ventura, Bobby the Bane Heenan color commentator style that has been in wrestling for the past like 40 years. Booker T doesn't do those things very well. He does he's just entertaining. He's the drunk uncle who's just popping jokes and just entertaining everybody by just the way he just said stuff. So
yeah, I'd rather listen to him, like you said, than Pat. Pat annoys me now. I hate Pat McAfee.
Oh, 1000%. Pat McAfee's the worst color commentator in pro wrestling. Yeah. This is just a fact.
Yeah, just the whole fact.
He's not good. He's not good at the pro wrestling commentator part, and he's also not as effortlessly entertaining as Booker T. He very much tries to be entertaining, and therefore he's not entertaining because he's trying too hard.
I agree with that at 100%. It didn't even on Monday, I was like, oh my God, he's gonna take this whole Indiana Pacers bullshit and just I was happy they was in Oklahoma because they was booing him. Good. Don't come here with this bullshit.
Yeah. But like we said before, R-Truth and Carlito were not the only two who were not renewed, had their contract not renewed from WWE. Valhalla also joined that list. Valhalla, also known
she could go.
Valhalla, also known as Sarah Logan, has revealed on her Instagram account that her WWE contract is expiring soon and will not be renewed by the company once it ends. She wrote a post where she issued the following: "I come to you with tears in my eyes because our time has come to a sudden end.
It shouldn't even
WWE
work. Like, stop it.
WWE informed me yesterday that they are letting my contract expire. To be completely honest, my ego can't help but be damaged.
Okay,
You always
I'm sorry.
assume
That's not nice. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. That
you
yeah,
always assume that
that's
when
fair.
you end a lifelong career, there is going to be a grand exit. But here I am using the Notes app on my phone and typing a goodbye letter to an entity that will forget I was even there. I truly take no offense to this. My career as it was is getting usurped by my vocation, and it's all on my divine timeline that I trust deeply. I'll definitely miss you, but no, I'll be taken care of by my wonderful husband, by the land you provided for me, and alongside the children I've made along the way. I'm going to take the weight of being a superstar and let myself soar, being just Sarah. She's been growing on me, and it's time I let her fully cultivate. I love all the people you've brought into my life, but my social media page won't be about you anymore. It will share only the parts of me that I wish, and none of that will be wrestling. I'm more of a clean break kind of girl, and the other calls to me will be taking my full attention. With all my love, Sarah.
So we can let her just work for Evolution. I mean, it's only a few weeks, and then we could just let her go.
No,
Because I mean, she would.
Let
I
her
mean,
go.
to be okay, that's fine.
She's like she said, she'll be taken care of by her husband. Her husband is this one is he Eric of the War Raiders. So she'll be fine otherwise.
Yeah,
she's got her kids. She's got a life outside of this. So
yes, absolutely. Again, I shouldn't have said what I said because no one likes to be fired or let go of their job. It's not fun. It's not fair. It hurts. So I will apologize for that. I'm sorry.
See, Krissy's growing before our eyes here. Look at that. Apologizing. Now, if only you could apologize to Zoe Stark.
That's not happening.
Fair. Also fair. And it seems like Valhalla might not be the only one who might not be getting their contract renewed with WWE, as Karrion Kross is said to be in a contract year for WWE, and his WWE contract is said to expire in the summer. Fightful Select released a new update with more details on Kross's contract status. According to the report, there hasn't been much progress on signing Karrion Kross to a new contract since the news surfaced in late March. Based on sources close to the situation and Kross, WWE has not yet approached Kross regarding a contract extension or renewal, and it's unknown if they have expressed interest in doing so. Additionally, WWE reportedly notifies talents within a month or so of the time their deals are about to expire that they will not be renewed. However, WWE has lately been keeping wrestlers on television up until they're notified that their contracts won't be renewed or they won't be approached for an extension. Also, Fightful reports that there are still a few months remaining on Karrion Kross's current contract. Kross, of course, appeared on this week's Monday Night Raw in a backstage segment with Sami Zayn trying to get in his head. I think that he is going to be re-signed. They have put things down to the wire with a lot of different people over the last year, as far as like waiting just mere weeks before their contract is expired to renegotiate with them. And I think because Karrion Kross has caught on and gotten over with this kind of devil's advocate character and his merchandise that they have now made is selling, I think there's a good chance he's going to get re-signed.
That's fine. I mean, if they let him be like this backstage person and work that way, that's cool. Other than that, if you're not going to let him work, don't renew him and keep him hostage. That's the only thing I mean by like, you have people here that want to work, and do you have people that you just holding hostage just to just have them there? Like, go through your roster, go through these people. It's like going through your closet. You need a purge. If we're not seeing these people in the foreseeable future, we have to let it go.
You gotta move on.
We have to move on. I don't want to sound harsh or nothing like that, but it's like, if this is about money, no problem. You have a lot of people that are sitting there that are being paid and are at home. Put them on Legends contracts. Put them on something that's way less. They don't have to do all these travel things. It's less contrived. They'll still get a check, and then they can go on their way.
Or put them in a backstage role.
For a backstage role.
For a lower amount of money. If they really want to stay with the company. So Fightful Select also reports that a recent free agent in Shotzi Blackheart, as her deal with the WWE has officially expired. Shotzi was told last month that her deal would be expiring and would not be renewed. Companies had been waiting to announce her for upcoming appearances, and now they can legally do so. That's why she has been announced this week already for StarCast, MLW, GCW, and more dates already. So we'll be seeing Shotzi make the rounds around these different promotions now that she's freed up. So let's see what happens there. She's going to be at StarCast. That's in Dallas, Texas. If AEW wants to do a women's casino gauntlet, that's another person who could probably show up.
You could show it. Yep, I agree.
And the Wrestling Observer newsletter had some reports on this afternoon's, in fact, Worlds Collide event. The Wrestling Observer reports that WWE has been considering bringing in a veteran announcer for the show, and there has been talks of bringing in Mike Tenay. But it's unknown if he was actually contacted. He's currently not scheduled for the show. However, AAA's English language announcers Joe Dombrowski and Larry Dallas are also not scheduled for the show. The plans for the announce team have been kept quiet. Tenay started his announcing career back in 1994 with AAA's When Worlds Collide, one of the most historic shows that's ever happened for the promotion. Also, in regards to Worlds Collide, PW Insider reports that WWE is considered bringing in Savio Vega for their upcoming Worlds Collide event with AAA this afternoon. Vega last appeared for WWE at Backlash in Puerto Rico back in 2023, and it seems that he's already been confirmed by several different sources since then.
Good for Savio. Even though they're using him for a Spanish accent and all that stuff like that, but whatever.
I know he has no history in AAA. That's the
at
funny
all.
part. Lindsay Dorado, Hector Moody, Jack Melendez also will work the event. Melendez will be working with AAA going forward. Speaking of which, PW Insider reports that AAA's creative team going forward, now that it's been acquired by WWE, will look to be a combination of Jeremy Borash, Conan, and Moody Jack Melendez. Conan and Melendez will be at today's Worlds Collide event. Melendez and Savio Vega were at WWE Performance Center earlier this week. We asked this on our preview, but I'll ask you here now, Krssi Luv, what's your anticipation level from 0 to 10 for this afternoon's Worlds Collide event?
I know the wrestling is going to be good. I'll probably give it like a 7.5, 8.
Wow, you're much higher than me and Maggie. Maggie gave it like a 2. I was at like a 5.
Oh shit! Damn. To be honest, will I watch it? Probably not live. I'll probably watch it later. I'm not gonna watch it like today, or I'll just like wait for you to just tell me what happened and like tell me what I should watch. But I'm not really like. My plan was not watching it right today. I got shit to do.
Yeah. Kid Cudi says, did they try?
But then I'll drop it down to like a 5. Sorry.
Fair. Kid Cudi says, did they try to give Truth a Legends contract first? No. They didn't.
No, they didn't. Not at all. Because he would have like. We're not doing this today. Sorry, Kid Cudi.
We also got Roberto Soto who says R-Truth's release sounds like a storyline. I mean, he got a WWE title shot 1 week before his release. He did not get a WWE title shot. He just faced the WWE champion. It wasn't for the title.
It wasn't even for the title, right? I'm about to say that's how much they were even behind him.
Yeah. And he says Mike Today as an announcer would be amazing. Yeah, I would love Mike Today. I'm a big Mike Today fan from his WCW and TNA run. So I'm a big Mike Today fan. I would love to see it. And just to confirm, R-Truth did not get released. His contract was he was told that his contract was not going to be renewed. That's a little bit different from a release. And to confirm, Roberto, it's definitely not a storyline. It's just not. Just want to make that clear in the chat. But let's finish off with WWE with NXT and Evolve. First, NXT, they did 684,000 viewers this week. The show featured JC Jane and Fatal Influence having a NXT Women's Championship celebration following her victory last week. Jane was interrupted by Lacey Reed, Jordan Grace, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, and Thea Hale, who got into a huge brawl on the outside with Fatal Influence in the ring until the debuting Mariah May, making a shocking debut mere days after her exit from All Elite Wrestling to announce her arrival on NXT. This was eerily similar to the Ricky Starks debut, where they never said her name. They never announced her name in any way. She said that she was going to make NXT a bit more glamorous, and the commentators talked about how glamorous and beautiful she is, but they never stated her name. So more on that in a bit here. You also had Ethan Page, Javon Evans, and Laredo Kid kicked off the show with the NXT North American Championship Summit before Worlds Collide. That led to WWE Evolve's Sean Legacy coming out to interrupt until the Vanity Project showed up to have a big brawl between everyone. And this set up later in the show, the babyface team of Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Sean Legacy teaming up with Dragon Lee to defeat Page and the Vanity Project in a very fun 8-man tag team matchup, with Dragon Lee picking up the win for his team. Miles Bourne picked up a win over Charlie Dempsey in a really good rounds matchup to earn his freedom from the No Quarter Catch crew. You also had Tyra May Steele, the real deal. Tyra May Steele, Olympic gold medalist, made her NXT in-ring debut in a win over Ariana Grace. And then finally, the main event saw Trick Williams beat Mike Santana in a good matchup to retain the TNA World Championship, thanks to outside interference from AJ Francis and Casey Navarro of First Class, who seemingly set up them being in an alliance with the TNA World Champion Trick Williams, which further got developed on At Against All Odds, which we'll talk about in a bit here. But good episode of NXT this week, but the big news of the show, of course, Miss Krissy Luv, was Mariah May showing up in WWE just days after, last week's show, we talked about that in depth about Mariah May leaving AEW and heading to WWE, and it happened just a couple of days after we did that podcast. A new report has more details on her arrival. As noted, the former AEW Women's World Champion made her debut on Tuesday Night Show. Fightful Select reports that May is signed to a multi-year deal and notes that the specifics around the debut were kept quiet so they would not leak. Sources in WWE said that a very small group knew officially beforehand that May was signed, and that the plan has been for her to be on NXT for quite some time. Word of her involvement was relayed to talent in gorilla position just before the segment began. May was heavily tipped to go to WWE for the last several months, as May had been making moves preparing for post AEW life. AEW was interested in keeping her, though there's no word yet on what the offers look like. Sources in All Elite Wrestling do not believe she left the company on bad terms, though. May was removed from AEW roster page at the end of last month, and management said at the time that she was still technically under contract. Her deal came up at the start of June, along with a number of others, and AEW removed her from the roster page to get ahead of the matter. The report notes that Abaddon is still on the roster page, even though her deal came up at the start of the month as well. May was not mentioned by name on NXT, and there's no word on if it will change. Mariah May is believed to be her real name. It's in fact her middle name is May. Her last name is Mead, I believe, and she is able to use it if she chooses to, if she decides to, and she used it before coming to AEW. Ricky Saints similarly was not referred to by name during his debut. Both that is not the same situation. And when he debuted, WWE was insistent there could be issues with him using the name Ricky Starks, even though it has been used on WWE TV before, and his real name is Richard Starks. Fresh off her WWE arrival, Mariah May has signed with Paradigm Talent Agency. Deadline reports that May has signed with the agency for representation. The site reports that May will expand upon her career in scripted and unscripted film and TV, and the agency focusing on branding. Paradigm said in a press release about Mariah May, she brings a rare combination of in-ring credibility, screen presence, crossover appeal, with growing influence across fashion, digital platforms, and television. She is uniquely positioned for expansion into scripted and unscripted entertainment. According to PW Insider, Mariah May is 100% getting a new ring name once the decision process on what it will be has been completed. WWE wants to own and trademark the name. That is why she is having a name change.
Mm-hmm.
So, Krssi, what did you think about Mariah May's debut on NXT and all the news and fallout? I want to say, first off, I'm happy she got some agency. She got some representation. That's what she needed to do to not let these billionaires have broke boy energy. Run those pockets. I don't care if you got lint in those pockets. Give me the lint too. Put the gun to their head and run all that money. TKO got money. They should you.
Now they want to pay Kelly and Lana.
But she got representation, so they're going to make sure her next deal is a big one. So I'm happy for her in that. And I'm just happy for her in general. This is her dream.
This is what she wanted.
I'm happy for her.
Because someone was like, oh, a friend of mine was like, oh, AEW dropped the ball. I was like, no, she didn't. She wanted to stay there for that time, and then she wanted to move on to the next one.
She went in with a plan. She had
her plan, right?
She went from a fangirl modeling WWE shirts to an independent wrestler. She had a tryout in 2019 where they thought she wasn't ready. So she decided to get more experience on the independent scene. Then she went to Japan to get her in-ring work a little bit more polished and develop this hard-hitting physical style that she has in the ring. She did a year there. Then she went to AEW for a 2-year run and went in and did one of the best and most critically acclaimed storylines in AEW history. Went out with a match of the year candidate against Timeless Toni Storm, the best women's match in AEW history and in North American history for women's wrestling. And now she gets to go to WWE, where she's going to be the top star on NXT. This is a flawless plan by her, regardless of my issues with how much she's getting paid.
Yeah. Again, this is a plan that when someone writes out there like their goals and lists and bucket, things of what they're set out to do, she did it. She's a prime example. You didn't want me? No problem. You told me I need more development, more experience. Got you. I want to come back here. Let me go get my craft together. Let me get some experience. Since you want someone with like 10 years experience, let me go get some experience, come back, and here we are. Yeah. So she had, like you said, she had a great match with Toni Storm to exceed and put her name out there and like put her name up there with top wrestlers. Women's wrestlers at that.
All of her matches with Toni Storm were great.
Yes. Yeah. Again, she did great character work, so it was really good. Just that her run when she was a champ, but whatever. That's not her fault. It's Tony's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not on her, but she won the title. So
she won the title.
It's about how it looks on a resume. It's not how if you watch it, you're like, oh, the title run wasn't that bad. But WWE ain't gonna watch everything. They're just gonna see the resume. Oh, former AEW Women's World Champion. Oh, won the Owen Hart Cup. Was in one of the best storylines ever with Timeless Toni Storm. Match of the year candidate with Timeless Toni. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. We'll give her. We'll make her a top star on NXT. Yeah.
So again, kudos to her. She did the work. She knew what she was supposed to do, and put her to put on the main roster. Put her to SmackDown so she could be with Tiffy. Could be twins.
We got her. We got everybody trying to figure out the name, saying Mariah Might, says Senior Nerd. We got Goku, who says Mariah M. We got we got Valhalla, who says Triple M. We got Power Driver Finisher, who says maybe Mariah.
Oh, maybe Mariah. I like that.
That's actually really
a really good one. Power Driver Urinal. That's number 2. Number 2, Power Driver. Look, I didn't even know I could do that. See that?
Bell says just do Mariah May, but spell May M-A-E instead of M-A-Y. She says I got that idea from Molly May from Love Island. We got Goku, who says Mariah Moon. We got they'll definitely keep the Mariah part. If you change Mariah, then that's just stupid. So.
Yeah, no, we can keep Mariah, but like I love Power Driver. I like what you did. I like that one.
Yeah, she had a plan. She executed it flawlessly. No one dropped the ball. You get look. We got to stop with the whole Tony fumble. Like,
Tony didn't do this. Like, Tony tried to keep her there, but he didn't want to. But she did not want this. This her life end goal was. There's the pinnacle, like the top tier places. Like you have Goldman Sachs. You have all these like top tier like places that people want to work for. You understand what I'm saying? This is just in wrestling. People wanted this is considered like
we're like at least we're like a decade away from anyone in the wrestling business dreaming to go to AEW. AEW came into existence in 2019. Before 2019, no one knew what an AEW was. Right. So like no one's gonna dream to go to AEW. And the dream is WWE. That's just a fact of the matter.
And listen, hey, it's okay. This is what people grow up on these things. You grew up on one big famous promotion. None of the other ones exist still. No. This one's still existing because they only want to entertain.
2. Give me the Lint 2. Absolutely. Yep. Put the lint in the bag, bro. LeVay, you got it. Yes. Give me the lint. We got Chillin' with Jays that says, "What's after May? It's June. Welcome, Mariah June."
I'm not mad at June either. I like that as well.
Makes sense. She debuted in June. Mariah June. Makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. But with one person out, another person has to be gone. And one of those people that has been gone at the beginning of May was Elayna Black, aka the former Cora Jade. She spoke in a new interview about her WWE release with Ariel Awani on Monday, where she talked about her tweet where she said that she had been called lazy and basically accused WWE trainers and her co-workers of body shaming her. On her reaction to her WWE release, she said, "Obviously, the initial shock of it all, even though I feel like I knew it was coming, I'm just really weird with my intuition. I always have been, and I've always had this gut feeling. I want to say November, I had a feeling that I was going to be gone. It's always up and down. When it's good, it's good. Maybe 2 weeks before the cuts, it was Vegas, and I was like, I'm going to make it good because I'm not coming back here. I just had that gut feeling. Obviously, you don't want it to be right. Don't manifest it, but I always had that gut feeling." On why she felt that way in November, she says, "Coming back from a knee injury was crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. I didn't play sports before wrestling, so I never had a major injury that I had to come back from. Even just getting a month after that and feeling like I was in a good place. I had a conversation with somebody who I won't name, but someone I kind of feel like I would have had a better experience there. It wasn't for not Sean or Hunter or anybody. I can't praise them enough, but there was a conversation with somebody where I was like, okay, this is probably going to be weird in a few months, and it was." On if the situation was unsettling to her, she said, "Yeah, at times. I feel like I can look at it and things I could have changed or done differently. When you think about it, there is nothing. I was there every day. I was cleaning up the locker room with Roxanne and after the shows because we're from the indie wrestling and that's what you do. Until the day I was gone, that's just what you do. You can always look at it and think what you can do different. But at the end of the day, I feel comfortable in the fact that I got to do so much stuff with my best friend and so many of my best friends. And I feel confident that I stood on my morals and things I spoke up about that maybe other people wouldn't have. On her tweet about being body shamed, she said, I'll say this because I did put it out there. The body shaming stuff, I don't want this to be a bash WWE because it was my dream and it still is my dream. I have no doubt maybe one day in the future I'll be there again, but it is what it is. Thinking about my dream was to be a WWE superstar, then I become a WWE superstar and accomplish all these goals and meet all these people. Me and Roxanne became closer than ever doing these storylines. I got to work with Bailey, who is a hero of mine. CM Punk is a mentor to me now, and I got much so that I don't want to be bashed WWE at all because I'm so happy with my time there. I did so much stuff that I was writing about in my notebook as a kid. I definitely think there's things I could have went differently if it wasn't for certain things like the body shaming stuff. I came in at 19 years old and I was 110 pounds and so small. It was constant comments, whether it was guys who think they're being funny or I'm not going to name names, but I remember specifically being told that I wasn't and wouldn't be a champion in that company because I looked like I couldn't crack an egg. Multiple conversations about my body. I don't think anyone, especially a man, should be saying that to a female, especially because I was so young. It created a lot of issues for me body-wise. I gained so much muscle after that. I worked my ass off. I could go to strength and conditioning classes, which in my opinion are more geared towards college athletes and people coming in from college and working on that kind of strength and conditioning, and never felt like it was doing anything for my body. On if she had a feeling better about things by WrestleMania week, she said, honestly, it was so weird because I say I had that first feeling in November that I was getting fired, but I will say for some reason, even though I had that in the back of my head all the time, those last 6 months of my career there were the best times I ever had. I don't know if it was because in my back of my head I thought I was going to get fired, so I was just trying to live it up while I can and really soak it in and enjoy it. But those last 6 months from October to May, those are the best times that I had. I got to work with Bailey. I became super close with Stephanie Vicaire and Julia. Roxanne is my best friend, and we got to do so much stuff together inside and outside the ring that I'm so happy I had those last 6 months, and I'm so glad that it ended there with all that. It was such a good ending for me. On if she was given a reason for her release, he said, I said, is there a specific reason or budget cuts? Because that's what they typically say. They said it was a company decision. I'm not going to sit there and argue with them. It is what it is. What do you think about what Elayna Black had to say about her time in WWE? The body shaming stuff and being told you're not going to win a title because you look like you couldn't crack an egg. That is wild.
That's people are assholes and just, like, fuck them.
Yeah. I feel for the girl. You're trying to live your dream and then you're told some bullshit like that. Insanity. Insane. And just to compound with the insane stuff, there was an arrest at the NXT taping on Tuesday as the person who had been stalking Liv Morgan was taken into custody. Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp confirmed fan reports that the stalker was arrested. WWE was aware of what was happening and contacted police. Fans has been posting to social media about the situation, with one noting that multiple bags of evidence were taken after the person was arrested near the Performance Center. PW Insider had more details on their arrest. The individual is alleged to be someone who was stalking Liv Morgan, and the Orange County Sheriff's Office reportedly issued the following statement. On June 3rd, 2025, at approximately 11:30 p.m., deputies made contact with Sean Chan outside of the WWE Performance Center, and Chan had an outstanding warrant for burglary. Chan was arrested was placed under arrest and booked into Orange County Jail. We have no details whatsoever about the Pasco County case that he was under, so you will need to reach out to that agency for more information. PW Insider also notes the arrest report lists 10:49 p.m. Eastern as the time of arrest, and the officer's body cam was also said to have been active at the time of the arrest. The alleged suspect, Sean Chan is reportedly listed as 41 years old and originally from Hong Kong. He currently lives in Florida. Chan is currently incarcerated in Orange County Jail in Orlando, and it appears that there were 2 more arrests made at NXT this week. Going by an earlier report from PW Insider, fans saw multiple police cars on the property. One version of the story, which is said to be legitimate, is that the person who was arrested was the Liv Morgan stalker, and they were apprehended by the law enforcement authorities. So keeps getting better and better, it seems. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? People just don't know how to be normal, it seems.
First of all, you're a weirdo. Why are you like going after like she don't want you, like she like stalk, like I don't like I've never understood the whole stalking premise people shit. Like you tell me one time you don't want nothing to do with me, no problem. I'm going on to the next thing. Or I don't even like, or you pretend like you think like, I don't know, I've watched you and I've like I don't understand like Joe Goldberg's like mindset sometimes, because like he's a whole like character in himself, and he just be like, he'd be trippy and he don't even know that he be doing shit when he doing shit.
Oh, you're talking about season 4? Yeah.
Yeah. Which I just finished. I'm going to 5.
Okay. All right.
I told you I was going to catch up. So I finished. I did the last episode last night for 4. So yes. So we good. But yeah, like that stuff is like crazy, deranged, like foolishness to me.
Yes, dissociative disorder is what he had in season 4. Yeah, there's people in that inner monologue that Joe has. That's probably what these stalkers have. Like they're just normal. They're just showing their love and appreciation by stalking people. Weirdest fucking shit I've ever heard. We do have a super chat donation from the good brother Valhalla. Thank you so much, Valhalla, for the support. Valhalla says, never stop the Tony Fumble chants for about a month. The most over guy in NXT was TK. In a way, yes. That is kind of true. But yes. But yes, rag on these fucking weirdos, fucking weirdo stalkers, deranged individuals they are. It's mental illness as well. That is true. WWE Evolve this week, the show featured Jackson Drake becoming the inaugural and WWE Evolve men's champion, defeating Sean Legacy, Keanu Carver, and Idris Enofe in a really good 4-way main event to become the first ever champion. You also had Callie Armstrong had a celebration for her WWE Evolve Women's Championship win that was interrupted by Zeta Steele and Nikita Lyons, who jumped her until Natalya made the save. Yes, Natalya shows up everywhere.
We still keep Nikita Lyons. Get her MAGA Lion to eat too. She put on the fucking list. I'm adding her to the list too. The only reason she's there because of her assets. Other than that, she's a total annoyance and foolishness, and she's a MAGA follower. MAGA Lions, get out of here. Be gone.
We're gonna need you to do a list of everybody that you think should be released so we could bring back R-Truth, I guess. But we've made it through the WWE portion of the podcast. We're going to move on over to AEW, which the focus of this week was the 4-hour block of entertainment on Wednesday with Dynamite and Collision Fyter Fest. The Dynamite 2 hours did 655,000 viewers. The Collision 2 hours did 380,000 viewers. Yes, like 300,000 people left after Dynamite, which I don't blame.
Really?
The 4-hour show kicked off with Will Ospreay coming out to challenge Swerve Strickland to a match on next week's Summer Blockbuster. This led to the crew interrupting Ospreay for Lio Rush to challenge Will for later in the show. Ospreay went on to defeat Lio during the Collision portion of the 4-hour block in a good matchup. Post-match, crew jumped Ospreay until Hangman Adam Page made the save. Page then cut a masterful promo saying that he will never want or accept help from Swerve Strickland before vowing to beat Jon Moxley for the AEW World title at All In Texas. However, Moxley came out behind Hangman and stared down with him along with the Death Rider surrounding the ring until Will Ospreay came back out with steel chairs to have a Hangman's back. Speaking of our AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley beat Mark Briscoe in a very good opener to the show. Briscoe just doesn't know how to have a bad matchup.
I'm about to say the same thing. Like
Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa picked up a win over Sky Blue and Julia Hart, with Mercedes Moné watching from ringside while eating a well-done steak. It's overcooked.
Sis. It's overcooked, sis. You cannot eat it well. How old are you? Grow up. We don't eat well-done steaks anymore.
Tony had a hard time eating it too.
Because it's too, you can't chew it.
MJF and the Hurt Syndicate had a confrontation with Will Ospreay backstage, as MJF told Will to stay out of Hangman and Swerve's business, and that he can't beat neither one of them.
Shelton. I love it. This was great.
Then MJF and Hurt Syndicate came out as MJF issued a challenge to Mystico for Grand Slam Mexico, but Hurt Syndicate were interrupted by Jet Speed and Commander, who issued a challenge. MVP told them to prove themselves, which led to Jet Speed and Commander beating LFI in an awesome trios matchup. This was a straight up banger. I love this matchup. Post-match, Hurt Syndicate accepted Jet Speed and Commander's challenge for next week's Summer Blockbuster, with the babyface getting the better of the champions in MJF post-match. Then you had Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford jumped Anna Jay backstage and were about to deliver face descent off the stage until Ty Mello returned to make the save and reunite with Anna Jay. FTR picked up a win over Atlantis Jr. and Templario of CMLL in a good bout. Don Callis families, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Hechicero defeated Bandito and the Outrunners in a solid trios matchup, while Daniel Garcia and Paragon defeated the Don Callis families, RPG Vice, Lance Archer, and Josh Alexander in a decent 8-man tag main event on Collision. Nick Wayne retained the Ring of Honor World Television Championship by beating AR Fox, Lee Johnson, and Sammy Guevara in a pretty fun 4-way. But the better 4-way on the night was definitely Kenny Omega defeating Mascarada Dorada, Brody King, and Claudio Castagnoli in an absolutely tremendous 4-way encounter to retain the AEW International Championship. Post-match, Kazuchika Okada came out to confront Omega before getting into an exchange with one another to tease their potential showdown with one another. Later in the show, Tony Khan made a major announcement that Omega will face Okada in a winner-takes-all matchup for the AEW International and Continental Championships on Saturday, July 12th at All In Texas. Krssi Luv, what did you think about the 4-hour block of Fyter Fest this past Wednesday?
It was a lot of wrestling.
A lot of wrestling.
Great, but it was a lot of wrestling.
it was a lot of great stuff, but
a lot of great stuff. If you didn't need
the last 2 hours was a chore.
Yeah, that was a choice. It could have been another day. You didn't have to do it all in one day, but I guess they wanted to work
this is to be fair to Tony Khan. This is not his choice. This was WBD's choice.
Yeah, that was it was just because again they have a lot going on. It's playoff season. So they was like, let's just do it all in one day. We don't have to put you all in another day, whatever. It's fine. They should have started at 7, maybe.
I would have preferred that. Yeah,
I think if you would have started at 7, it wouldn't have felt so long because the 12 o'clock run, you get people got to go to work and people are tired. So I think if you would have started at 7, because you're not playing anything of value at 7 p.m. You're really not. You're playing reruns. That's what you're doing. You're playing reruns. You're not even playing a show like that. People have seen the episode already, so it doesn't really fucking even matter.
Also true.
And also, I don't know what they were going against, but if you would have started at 7, it wouldn't have felt so long for people, I feel like. But overall, I think it was a great episode of both shows. Yeah. Even though it was like it was a time between the two shows switching on Max.
I heard there was issues with
it was issues on Max, and it was showing issues like it was like taking a long time like for it to transition from show to show when it should just played effortlessly.
Yeah, like I said, and said this with Jimmy on A Ramble. Like the Dynamite portion was great. If it ended at 10:15 and that was all of Dynamite, great Dynamite episode.
Right,
but because
right.
because the quality dropped on Collision, especially after the Will Ospreay and Leo
Leo
Rush,
Matt, yeah.
and
I'm
then
about to say.
the Hangman promo. After that, it dropped the quality. Like, yeah, it made it feel even longer than it was.
Yeah, and because then you like, oh, we have we had the main event, and you're like, okay, this is the main event for this show. I mean, it's cool and all, but like nobody really like. Yeah, like I noticed that too. Like after the Leo and Ospreay match, which was fantastic. I was like, damn, I was like, look at Leo Rush out here, just doing his thing. So good for him.
And my lord, Tony Khan, it felt like this whole episode was like a step back in the treatment of the women. The women got 12 minutes of TV time on a 4-hour show. 12 minutes. It was one real match with the tag team matchup and a squash match with Tekla picking up the win over Lady Frost, and then a close match with Queen Amanada, and then the segment with Ty Mello's return. That's all we can get on a 4-hour show. The women can get 1/12 of the time. That's insane. That's
I don't know. You counted that?
Yes, that's egregious. That's egregious. Be better. You got another opportunity to see if you could do better this week with Summer Blockbuster. I know Vala made the point on a couple of shows we've done this week that Summer Blockbuster was the original 4-hour block that was first announced by AEW that they were going to do. So you gotta take the criticism from this week and improve upon it. You got to spread out the quality throughout the 4 hours and not just stockpile all the quality in the first 2 hours, kind of spread it out a little bit better, and give us 2 legit women's matches, then a squash match, and then like 2 to 3 different women's segments on the show. You have so much talent in your women's division. You got Timeless Toni Storm. You got Mercedes Moné. You got Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Mina Shirakawa. You also got people that weren't on this show, like Willow Nightingale, who's a top star. Chris Statlander, who's a top star.
You didn't have your top girls on the show. Yeah, you didn't have
Athena, Billy Starks, Thunder Rosa, the Jamie Hayter. The list goes on and on and on and on.
You could have definitely had like
talent.
Yeah, you could have definitely another one that's not utilizing the people properly. Use them when needed, but you're not using them properly, if that makes sense for everyone. Especially for a 4-hour show, you should have spread out. They could have at least had 2 on 2.
I will take 30 minutes of women stuff. That'd be double of what we got this week. Give me 30 minutes of the women at the very least. I think that's the least Tony Khan will do. 30 minutes of women content on this week's show. That's like 1/8 of the time that you're investing on TBS this week. You can at least do that, Tony. Please. I'm begging of you. But otherwise, I did like a lot of the show. I think that the four-way with Omega, Dorado, Claudio, and Brody King was fucking great. I love that matchup. The finish with Dorado trying to do the Hurricane Rana to Omega, and then he just flips him around, one-wing angel, so smooth. That was awesome. Dorado stood out like a star in that final sequence. Here at Tru Heel Heat, we always love Brody King. It doesn't matter who's talking about Brody King. We love Brody King. He was the MVP of the whole fucking matchup. Claudio actually looked like he was alive. He was good. He was really good. And Omega is Omega. He's been
Omega. Right.
He's been brilliant in the ring since his return.
Correct.
They just need to invest more story time into Omega and promo time. And hopefully we're gonna get that with him versus Okada. What do you think about them announcing Okada Omega for All In? We've kind of known it for 6 months, but at least it's official now.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good, and Omega will win. He's winning this title. Like. They're gonna give it. I mean, it's gonna be so many matches up for the night. It's gonna be another contender for pay-per-view of the year. I feel it.
between the three matches that they have announced already, it's gonna be a spectacular show. Especially if they pull the trigger on Hangman. Please have Hangman win. Don't do it. You have all this momentum right now. Do not try to drag it out longer with Moxley as champion, please.
Yes. I got to figure out how I'm gonna see it while I'm away because it's international. So I got to figure out how to watch it.
I got you. Just hit me up.
Right, because I hit you up. Don't hit up Roman with the bogus links, man.
I got my ways. Don't worry. I got you.
Man.
Sis. I got you, sis. But yes, we got Frantic World who says Kenny versus Okada is going to be great. We got some love for Tekla in the chat from Safet. Some love for Athena as well. Yes, please, come on, man.
Why don't we have Athena on the main? She's on our. Well, we can't have her on the main roster by now.
We should have her on the main roster. She's one of your best female stars in the entire company. She should be on the roster now.
Her and Megan Bayne, fire.
Would be awesome. I would love that. I would love Megan Bayne versus Athena. That would be a straight up banger. We'll talk about what happened on Ring of Honor this week, where it seems that we got a hint of who she's gonna face as Supercard of Honor, which is the day before All in Texas. So we'll talk about that.
I was like, how does she not have a match yet? Like, what is happening?
We'll talk about that shortly here. I think it's going to be a good match if what we got on Ring of Honor is any hint. But Wardlow's been off of AEW TV for over a year now. A new report has an update on his status. Fightful Select has a report detailing some of the reasons that the AEW star has been off of television since last spring. The site notes that Wardlow was involved in a car accident amid a hiatus that was caused by what the site reports as a labrum injury. It is noted that the injury wasn't caused by the car accident, but it did aggravate the injury. It's not clear if this was a car accident that was reported in April of 2024 or not. Wardlow is cleared, but landed what was described as a very appropriate and special television role earlier this year. Wardlow reportedly met with Tony Khan, and everyone agreed that it wouldn't help anyone for him to come back briefly, then pulled from the television role. He is said to have a significant amount of time left on his AEW contract, so hopefully we won't get any questions from fans about where's Wardlow at? Why is he not using Wardlow? We now know the reason why.
Just shit luck. That's what it is.
Yeah, he got an injury, then he got a car accident that aggravated the injury, then he became healthy, and then he got a TV deal. So he making money somewhere else.
He making money. Listen, and listen, if Tony Khan is okay with it, let it be. I can still have this job and work here too. Thanks. I appreciate you.
Speaking of people that have been absent from AEW television, another one is Kamille. Amid her absence, many fans have been asking about her, as she's been gone since November of 2024 when she was fired as Mercedes Moné's bodyguard. Fightful Select has a new report about her status, and while they have yet to learn details on why she's off television, the report notes that she is expected to be away for more time due to the fact that she's filming for an upcoming television project that she's committed to through part of the summer. There's no word on whether she had a meeting with Tony Khan similar to the one that Wardlow had. Wardlow is, of course, filming a television project right now and spoke with Tony Khan about it. The report notes that talent in AEW are, quote unquote, in the dark about Kamille's absence, and that it's believed that Tony Khan did not feel as if her alliance with Mercedes Moné was working, and a number of sources made it clear that Moné was willing to work with Kamille and have a match with her, which was discussed in December but didn't end up happening. Kamille has a lot of time left on her AEW deal and does signings, but hasn't wrestled beyond a battle royale in February at ICW's 13th annual Square Go. So this one is a little bit more of a mystery than the Wardlow one, but she is filming a project as well, and she was in the Queen of the Ring movie. So Camille's been keeping busy with Hollywood and acting, but AEW, you got to do something with these, like Kamille and Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh my God,
people
I
that
feel
you signed last year, and
yeah.
you've done jack and shit with them.
It's really I feel really bad for Deanna. And I was telling my husband, he was like, who's that? I was like, oh, this girl that they signed, she's from Jersey, she's so good, she's badass, but they've really never utilized her. And he was like, damn, she thick. I was like, you did you hear anything I just said?
Shout outs to Mr. Love. Shout outs to Mr. Love. And then the last absence we're going to bring up is an absence that no one's been complaining about. Chris Jericho.
Oh, nobody gives a shit about this. Why are you even giving this even context? Oh my God. What?
According to the Wrestling Observer, Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer, there's nothing on the table right now as far as Chris Jericho coming back to AEW. As far as is he ready and available, Dave Meltzer said, I mean, you know, technically he's always been available because he's even when he tours, Wednesday is open. But, you know, I think that he felt that it was time for a break. And so that's the deal with him. He's on break.
Good for him.
Yes.
It needs to be longer, but whatever.
Take as much time as you need, sir. I will see you in the winter. How about that? We'll see you.
Not even. Let's see you next year. Take a year off. Come back after the cruise.
How about you wait until we miss you? How about we wait to miss you, please? Let's wait to miss you. How about that? AEW Collision this week did 504,000 viewers. Last Saturday's Collision, excuse me. The show featured Claudio Castagnoli defeating Commander in a very good opener, while Mascarita Dorada beat Hechicero in another really good main event for both Claudio and Dorada to qualify for the aforementioned AEW International Championship 4-way at Fyter Fest. Kazuchika Okada picked up a win over Anthony Bowens in a solid AEW Continental Championship eliminator. Mina Shirakawa beat Sky Blue. Post-match, Blue and Julia Hart jumped Mina until Timeless Tony Storm made the save. LFI beat AR Fox and Top Flight in a pretty fun trios matchup, while the Don Callis families, Konosuke Takeshita and RPG Vice, picked up a win over Tomohiro Ishii and Paragon in a very good trios bout on the show as well. And we talked about previously Elayna Black and her comments in regards to her WWE release, but she also talked about potentially coming to AEW in her interview with Ariel Helwani this week. On her earlier appearances in AEW, she says, I was doing AEW actually for that a few weeks or a month or two before like my WWE trial, and I thought I was going to end up at AEW. I did a few dark matches and I loved it there. Like, I thought I was going to end up there first. I remember because it was just at the time, like, it was like the end of 2020, and I was kind of picking up steam on the indies, and like people were doing dark and stuff. And I was like, I felt like I was going to end up there, and I wanted to end up there. On WWE making her an offer before AEW did, and she says, and then it was just ended up being like, I got the WWE tryout the same month that I was doing AEW, and WWE made me an offer before AEW, so I took it. But either way, I knew I wanted to be in a big wrestling promotion. Like, obviously, I've always been a lifelong WWE fan, so I wanted to be there as well. On being open to joining AEW, she says, I would definitely be open to going to AEW. I loved my time there. I have a lot of friends there. Like, I watch all the shows. I love the fact that they have as much creative freedom as they do. I feel like I'm so much for like storylines, like, and like character and stuff like that. So I felt like they are very, very creatively free in that way. So it's definitely something I would be open to. As noted, Elayna Black is officially a free agent this week, so she could potentially make her way to AEW. We'll see what happens.
Do it, Tony. AEW? Do it. I feel like she can run. Oh, she can run ROH. She can go over there.
I can see her over in ROH and give Tony the push to make Athena on.
That's what
AEW.
I'm saying. There we go. Hello. Let Billy and her take care of ROH.
There you go.
Let the little youngins take care of that.
Speaking of people coming into AEW, it was announced on a independent show on Friday. Alex Windsor, aka Mrs. Will Ospreay, says that she is officially all elite, announcing that she signed with AEW on Friday. As Fightful reports, Windsor challenged Shuri for the IWGP Women's Championship at Pro Wrestling Eve show on Friday. Shuri won the match, and then after the bout, Windsor got on the microphone and noted that her independent career is ending as she signed with AEW. Windsor has been wrestling for 16 years. She's made her way around the UK independent scene, competed in Japan for TJPW, had dates for NJPW, and most recently wrestled for AEW/ROH in February. Windsor has worked a number of matches for AEW and ROH over the past couple of years, most recently an ROH Women's World Title matchup against Athena at AEW ROH Global Wars in Australia in February. So congratulations to Alex Windsor making her way to All Elite Wrestling and joining her hubby, Will Ospreay. So that's cool.
Now she got to be the ops. Damn.
It's because you were doing too much towards Will. You was giving him the googly eyes. You know, you're married, he's married. Can't do that, sis.
It's terrible. You're right.
Can't do it.
Okay, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
She's been really good. She's been killing it on the independent scene. I gotta watch that match with Shuri from last night. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get myself a members account over on the Eve thing. So I'll go over there and see what's on.
How many accounts you gonna have?
Gotta get me more. I want to see that matchup. Shit.
Yeah.
And yes, like Valhalla says, but in general, Windsor has been one of the people putting in insane work bringing the UK scene back up. She is true. She is. But ROH TV on Honor Club this week, the show featured Athena making her return to pick up a win over Rachel Armstrong in a ROH Women's World Championship Eliminator matchup. Post-match, Athena continued to attack Armstrong until Thunder Rosa made the save to kickstart a rivalry with the Fallen Goddess. So I think that's going to be the Super Card of Honor matchup, Thunder Rosa versus Athena, Battle of Texas.
Battle of Texas. Okay, cool.
Earlier in the show, Rosa picked up a win alongside Persephone to beat Dulce Tormenta and Layla Gray in the opener, while Wheeler Yuta picked up a win over Aaron Solo on the show. But that is all from the Converse this week. But I'm liking Athena versus Thunder Rosa. That's one match that I will watch Super Card of Honor for sure.
Maybe it'll be the way for Athena to maybe, like, I don't know if she would lose and then go to the other side and go to the main roster or whatever. But
I would hope.
This has been a long time coming. Like, she needs to be with the other girls by now. I mean, maybe she. I don't know. Maybe it's her. She likes being over there and running that. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody would want to be on like Ring of Honor right now.
Okay, that's okay. Fine. I tried to give a devil's advocate and try to give both sides, but whatever. No problem. SB, you've nixed that in the blood. Okay,
I'm sorry.
Fine.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. Well, yeah, but no, this is the calling for her to now come up to to where the big girls are. We're taking the training wheels off, and we have to have with the big girls now.
Then let's move over to Japan, where they did the NJPW Best of Super Juniors 32 final last Sunday. The show featured Kosei Fujita defeating Yo in an absolutely sensational main event. One of the best matches of the year. Dave Meltzer rated the matchup 5.25 stars as Kosei Fujita became the youngest winner of the Best of Super Juniors Best of Super Juniors tournament, winning the 32 final in front of a molten hot Ottawa City crowd. This was amazing. Just watch that. That crowd was unreal in Ottawa last Sunday. Great matchup. You also had Evil beat Gato in a match. Post-match, you had Evil and House of Torture jump Gato until Clark Connors and Taiji Ishimori of the Bullet Club War Dogs tried to make the save, but were overwhelmed by the numbers, and Evil hung Gato with a dog collar chain. Shingo Takagi and Hiromu Takahashi, formerly of LIJ, picked up a win over Hontai's Risuke Taguchi and Hiroki Goto, while Teton and Yota Tsuji, formerly of LIJ, defeated the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Taiji Ishimori in an entertaining sprint. But I said formerly of LIJ because LIJ is no more, but now we got a new group in their place, Los Tranquillos de Japon, as Tetsuya Naito and Bushi are going by a new team name following their NJPW exit. As previously noted, the two stars left New Japan Pro Wrestling following their final matches for the company on May 4th. Naito and Bushi are working as a team following their exits. Bushi posted to Twitter noting that they will now be known as Los Tranquillos de Japon. Naito said that in a blog post that the rights to the name Los Ingobernables de Japon are owned by others, and they can no longer use that name, which led to their new team moniker. No word on when or where they may make their first post NJPW appearances, but now they officially have a name.
I like the name.
Yeah, it works. I mean,
works,
Tranquilo had always been something that Naito was like his catchphrase and stuff like that, and a part of like LIJ for the longest, and all the members kind of said that, so it makes sense. It's like a natural transition point.
I like it. I like the new name. It's good for them. Good for them.
And then finally, you had TNA this week. First, there was last night's Against All Odds premium live event. The show featured Trick Williams retaining the TNA World Championship in a win over Elijah in the main event, thanks to an assist from AJ Francis. Masha Slamovich defeated Lei Ying Lee to retain the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Post-match, her former tag team partner, Killer Kelly, returned to TNA and teased a title match against her former friend. The Inspiration made their return to TNA as they confronted the Elegance brand after their victory over Zaya Brookside, Miley Grace, and Harley Hudson. Yeah, they do. And the countdown to babies. Against All Odds. the baby weight is all gone. It's all gone for both of them. There you go. The Nemeth brothers beat the Rascals to retain the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Santino Marella picked up a win over Robert Stone to retain his position as TNA Director of Authority. Leon Slater, the Hardys, and Hometown Man, aka Cody Deaner in a mask, they picked up a win over the System, with Slater pinning the X Division champion Moose. Mustafa Ali picked up a victory over Jason Hodge in a Battle of Order 4, while Steve Macklin retained the TNA International Championship in a win over Mance Warner. And then you had a TNA Impact this week. The show featured Zaya Brookside beating Rosemary in a fun Monsters Ball matchup. You also had Moose defeated Eric Young to retain the TNA X Division Championship. Post-match, Young attacked a fan in the crowd alongside the Northern Armory. Indy Hartwell picked up a win over Tasha Steeles, and Leon Slater, Matt Hardy and Mike Santana beat Frankie Kazarian and the Nemeth brothers in a fairly decent trios main event matchup. But some news from TNA, as it looks like they are going to be picking up some new free agents to go along with the Inspiration and the Killer Kelly making their return at Against All Odds, as Cedric Alexander has been in the reports. According to PW Insider, there's been a lot of talk about TNA's interest in Cedric Alexander, with some believing that he may be starting soon for the company. What do you think about Cedric going to TNA instead of what a lot of people have assumed he'd be going to AEW?
Right. Good for him. I would have swore he would go the other location, but hey, as long as he gets him a job and he got a family and he can wrestle and do what he needs to do, and they'll showcase him the way that he needs to be, I'm all for it.
I think he can kill it in the X Division. Him versus Leon Slater, sign me up. Him versus Mustafa Ali again.
Oh,
reunite their cruiserweight title feud. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, look at AJ Francis.
He's done a lot. He's done a lot for himself and TNA during his time.
But
there, so.
for him and TNA, like I'm like, oh my god, like these people that were releases, and look what happened to them. So
yeah, I'm here for it. Yes, and yes, big man. Call me Mr. Bond. This says Ali is a certified crash out. Indeed, he definitely is, and I agree with this. Yeah, I think Leon Slater is going to win the X Division Championship at Slammiversary. Definitely at Slammiversary. I think so. And then you had final news from TNA. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Julia Riley, best known as Claire Lynch, has passed away. Unfortunately, she was known as Claire Lynch in one of the TNA's most infamous angles. She passed away 2 months ago in Orlando, and her body was discovered in her home after she did not show up for a scheduled event. It's believed she died of natural causes, though. Riley worked as an actress and was playing Olive All at Universal when she was hired by TNA to play Claire Lynch. Lynch was a character that Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian used against AJ Styles, claiming that he had an affair with her and she was pregnant with his child. She played the role until fans discovered who she was, and she began to get harassed. This included messages on her personal website, YouTube, and LinkedIn accounts that were increasingly hostile. So she quit, and the storyline ended the following week with a statement from Lynch's lawyer that Styles was not the father of her child and that Lynch was never pregnant. She believed that it would hurt her career if she kept doing the role, and she never listed the role in her resume after that point. In recent years, Riley worked as a presenter and MC for events in Central Florida, like trade shows. Tru Heel Heat would like to give our condolences to Riley's family, friends, and fans. I said I would tell Krssi Luv about this storyline, but I didn't know I would be in this sense. Damn.
You did say, yeah, we would. If you guys didn't know, we were doing our show last. What day this was?
That was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday, and he was just like telling me like different storylines because I never watched the whole like TNA run and like certain wrestling stuff that I don't really know about because I checked out after a while once I got out of college. Got out of high school, and he was like, "All right, I'll tell you about Claire Lynch," not knowing that her actual it was an actual person for me. I didn't look it up. I didn't look see what it was. He's like, "I'll tell you about Claire Lynch," and she died 2 months ago.
Did not expect that.
And they didn't find her so no one was checking in on her. Like 2 months though? That's so sad. That's so crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Condolences to her family. That's really sad. So she was in an angle with AJ Styles. That was AJ Styles.
Yeah. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian.
So she was in a triangle. One of them was having one of their babies.
She was. They basically Daniels and Kazarian got her to say that she was having an affair with AJ, who's married.
Got it. I thought it was like a whole Maury situation. So it was a Jerry Springer situation.
Yeah, it was a Jerry Springer situation. That's more accurate. Okay. Definitely more accurate.
Okay, so this one we won't talk about because this one is a little bit sadder. He'll give me a different one for next week.
Yes, next week. I got you for sure. All right, we've made it to Krssi Luv's favorite time of the show, best and worst of the week, moment of the week, and match of the week. Miss Krssi Luv, what was your best and worst of this week?
Worst of the week goes to WWE.
For
R-Truth.
Fair.
Best of the week goes to I give it to Seth Rollins in the Monster Squad. The
Bronze Stars.
The Bronze Stars. Yep. It was on 2 shows all over the place. Wreaking havoc. Good for them.
Sounds good.
What about you?
I'm going to give worst of the week to WWE for the handling of the R-Truth departure, having a staffer just call him, tell him his contract's not renewed, kind of leaving him baffled and confused.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Best of the week, I got to give it to Mariah May for making her debut.
Yes. I thought it would have been on a bigger scale or a pay-per-view, but hey, they wanted to give her the same thing like Ricky Saint. So hey, good for her.
Yeah. And moment of the week, I'm not going to do double up because it probably would have been Mariah May's debut, but I'll give it the Okada and Omega stare down to set up their matchup for all.
I'll give mine to Mariah May.
No, actually, I'll give it to Kosei Fujita winning the Best of Super Juniors tournament.
Oh, okay.
I'll give it to Fujita.
That's cool. Yep.
Yeah. And then we got our matches of the week. What's your matches of the week this week?
I have 5. Hold on, let me go get them for you. I wrote them down. Here's my notes.
Okay, I'll give you mine quick. I only have 10 this week. I
have 10?
The downside.
From 15 last week.
10, I give it to the Evolve Men's Championship 4-way with Jackson getting the win. My boys, the Vanity Project, making me proud. Number 9, El Grande Americano, AJ Styles, and CM Punk from Raw. Number 8, Claudio Castagnoli versus Commander from Collision. Number 7, Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe from Fyter Fest. Number 6, Don Callis family versus Tomohiro Ishii and Paragon from last Saturday's Collision. Number 5, Mascarero Dorada versus Hechizero from last Saturday's Collision. Number 4, Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vicaire, and Alexa Bliss versus Julia, Roxanne Perez, and Naomi from last night's SmackDown. Number 3, Jet Speed and Commander versus LFI from Fyter Fest. Number 2, Kenny Omega, Mascarero Dorada, Brody King, and Claudio Castagnoli from Fyter Fest. And number 1, Kosei Fujita versus Yo from the Best of Super Juniors final.
Cool. Okay, so my 5 are number 5, the Raw main event, AJ Styles, Americano, and CM Punk. Number 4 is the women's triple threat from, was that Raw? With yes,
Stephanie Vicaire, Ivy Nell, and Liv Morgan.
Yes. No. The tag match. With,
you mean for SmackDown?
SmackDown, sorry, yes.
The trios matchup.
The trio match, yes. With Julia, Rhea,
Naomi, Roxanne versus Rhea, Stephanie Vicaire, and Alexa Bliss.
There you go. Thank you, friend. That triples match. Trios match, excuse me. Number 3, I got Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe. They have Leo Rush versus Offspring, and then my number 1 is the 4 match with Brody King,
Claudio,
Dorada,
yes. And Omega.
There you go.
Good one. That would have been my number 1 any week, but Kosei Fujita and Yo was one of the best matches of the year. Go out of your way to see it.
Yeah.
Gotta see it. That's one of the best matches of the year so far. We got our boy King of the North in the chat. Thank you for joining us, King of the North. He says, SP3, thoughts on people paying half their mortgage to TKO for tickets to chant "We Want Truth." We've kind of been talking about that this whole episode, that we're getting actual fan resentment towards WWE because they're making a whole bunch of decisions that it's just making it so obvious that all they're trying to do is a money grab.
They're making my SummerSlam decision easier and easier every day.
I could save a whole bunch of money by not going. I'm good.
I can listen. One, I don't do rain and outdoor events. So right now, New York's percentage-wise, it's been a lot of fucking rain. A lot. I'm not one to pay my money, and I can't really enjoy it because I don't like to be cold and wet. That ain't it, unless I'm in a pool or on a cruise ship. And that's even a lot. Anywho, with that being said, I can watch this in the comfort of my own home, drink what I want to drink, smoke what I want to smoke, eat what I want to eat, and I can probably watch it on a watch along with my friends.
All sounds good to me.
So with that being said, and then it's a 2-night show at that, which is like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one do I choose? I don't know. And right now it's looking like I'm not going to spend my money to go to Jersey to drive. Send Krssi on the Jericho cruise.
We're send them super chats so we can send Krssi on the Jericho.
That would be great if you could do that. That's awesome. I would give you live footage every damn day of my cruise down there. But it's making my decision where I'm not paying to go to wrestling events anymore. I think I've passed that, where if it's not like something like of dire necessity or something that it's sponsored, I'm good on it. I think I've surpassed that part of the life, I think.
I understand. I stopped.
Because I'm not doing all these like Apple Pays and Klarna and Affirm, and I'm not gonna do that for no fucking tickets. I mean, I would, but not for like, it gotta be like.
We also got Power Driver Finisher. He says best of the week, Mariah. He says worst of the week, WWE not knowing how to handle talent contracts.
Yep, the WWE, yep.
We got Seth who says best of the week, the Bronze Stars.
I love that name, the Bronze Stars, man. The Monsters, the Bronze Stars.
Worst of the week is WWE for the R-Truth. And Power Driver says moment of the week, Tony eating steak. And moment of the week for Seth is Omega versus Okada announcement. So.
Yeah, Tony used that to eat that steak. She was like, what is like, we don't eat well done steaks. We grow up now, friends. Grow up. Yes, we have to grow up. There's a certain age that we do things, and that's not it. It's not good for your digestive system and everything.
Yeah, the
Seth Riders.
The group overall is the Seth Riders, King of the North. We're talking about Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They're the Bronze Stars. Them two together.
I like the Seth Riders though. That's actually really
the Seth Riders is a good one. I've been using that off and on. I've been using that off and on when I don't want to say Dangerous Alliance.
Is that their name, the Dangerous Alliance?
Well, that was the name of Paul Heyman's original group in WCW, so that's why I've been calling them the Dangerous Alliance.
Got it.
But we're gonna end off the show with final predictions for this afternoon's WWE AAA Worlds Collide. Our producer thinks that it's 1994, and he put when Worlds Collide. It's just Worlds Collide.
Listen, if it wasn't from I was watching Monday Night Raw, and I was like, wait. Money in the Bank is on Saturday. I was like, What the fuck? I could have sworn I thought it was Father's Day weekend. I thought it was next week. I'm not even holding you. I'm not even lying. I'm just telling y'all what I thought it was. It's not. None of these are on my calendar. Just letting you know.
Also fair. But very quickly here, we'll go through these. We got in a trios matchup, the LWO will go up against the AAA trio of Mr. Iguana at the bottom. In the middle, you got Octagon Jr. and up top, you got Aerostar. I'm going to say LWO gets the win. Dragon.
I was going to say LWO should get this. I hope this is not a night where all WWE people win, but whatever.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But you also got tag team action. You also got in tag team action Stephanie Vaquer teaming up with Lola Vice to verse AAA's Dalise and Chick Tormenta. Definitely Stephanie Vaquer is getting the win.
I'm about to say definitely Stephanie Vaquer. We couldn't get her a better partner than Lola Vice, but hey, whatever.
Come on, Lola Vice is Latina and she's an MMA fighter. That's her gimmick.
Yes, I know all of this is true and fair, but we could have got her.
She's got a great theme song. And
then she gonna do her little dance, little twirl around. Okay.
And she does the dance. And then she does
Stephanie Vaquera and partner will win. Thanks.
Stephanie Vaquera and partner, that's disrespectful. There you got another trios matchup, as it's going to be Legado del Fantasma versus the triple A trio of Psycho Clown.
Yep, the Psycho Clowns. Yep.
Psycho Clown, Pagano, and Dr. Wagner 3. I'm actually going to choose the AAA trio on this one because Dr. Wagner 3 is a star.
Okay. I think to forget the other two clowns, I think Del Fantasmo is just a fucking star and they just not utilizing him the proper way at all. So I'm going to go with them. You're
going to go with Legado?
Yes.
That's fair. You're just going to pick all WWE guys to make sense.
No, I'm not. I'm not actually. I said I don't want. Did you not hear me just say? I hope it's not like a WWE thing where all of them or their guys win. I just said that.
Then we got a 4-way for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page defends against Triple A's.
These are Triple A's. Okay,
yeah, Triple A's Laredo Kid, SmackDown's Rey Fenix, and NXT's Javon Evans. I'm going with Ethan Page to retain here. Who you got?
Ethan just won, so he should retain. So, another WWE. Okay, that's 3. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me write this down.
And then finally, we got for the AAA Mega Champion. We got El Rio del Vikingo defending against Chad Gable. I'm going with Vikingo here.
Vikingo. Now, this would be an upset, and this would be great for Chad Gable, but I don't think Chad Gable is going to win this. So, that means he might win Money in the Bank.
I think this is going to be great. This might be the best match on either show.
Yeah, no, I think Vikingo and Chad Gable are going to fucking kill it. This is what I would tune in to see for this particular pay-per-view. Vikingo's is going to win though. He has to win. Okay, so we got 3-1 so far.
No, that was like you. I think you picked 4 out of the 5 for WWE. I picked 2 out of the 5 for AAA.
You did 5 matches?
Yeah, those 5 matches.
I wrote 3 down. I picked 3. Okay, wait, hold on.
You had the LWO Trios matchup.
Yes.
You had the Legado Trios matchup. Yes. You had Stephanie Vaquera in the tag matchup.
Oh, I forgot all about the women. Oh, yeah, damn. So it's 4-1. Damn, 4-1. Okay, listen, that's fun. That's fair. They get one winner.
And then we got tonight's
I could be wrong. That's fine. I'll admit it. You text me and let me know I was wrong so I can know what it is. Because I probably won't watch it right away. But anyway, continue.
No, I have not. I have not seen post-injury Viking. No, I did see his match in GLEAT when he had the matchup against Ricochet in GLEAT. I did see that one. I haven't seen him since though, so we'll see. Hopefully he delivers. But we got in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match tonight in the Intube Dome is going to be Seth freaking Rollins versus Solo Sikoa versus El Grande Americano, LA Knight, Penta, and Andrade. Who you got in this one, Krssi?
Americano.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go. I said this on
I'm sorry to cut you off. First of all, this is a terrible fucking Money in the Bank.
It's not the best lineup. No.
This group is terrible. I would have taken Andrade out and switched him with someone else. We don't need LA Knight in this again. Because again, this is a potential person that's supposed to be the next champion. I don't really foresee any of those other guys. Seth Rollins is not winning, but I don't foresee any of these other guys being the champion. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go because WWE loves to do things 1 year too late. LA Knight.
LA Knight to win when he should have won last year.
Yep. Okay. LA Knight's gonna win.
But they made Damian Priest win. Right. Fuck. Right. No.
Last year was Drew McIntyre. Even worse. Where they just used it as a prop for his feud with CM Punk. But the women's Money in the Bank lineup lapsed.
Naomi.
It's going to be Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss versus Stephanie Vaquer. Who you got?
Naomi is the only one that has a story that can go against the other 2 girls, I feel like.
I am going to go with Stephanie Vicaire.
What? We're pushing her right away? Okay.
Strap the rocket to her. She can be the star.
I'm
of
not
all
mad
stars.
at that. I'm not mad at that decision though, SP. So I'm here with you. I'm still sticking with Naomi. Now you think I'm thinking she's losing, but I'm gonna still stick with my girl. But
it's only because I went with my heart on the preview and I said Naomi. My heart is with Naomi. My head is saying Stephanie Vicaire.
Okay, your WWE cap is saying Stephanie.
Yes.
But
yeah,
your wrestling fan in you is saying Naomi, like me.
Yes. I want Naomi, the best character in WWE's women's division.
The best. This will make it even better.
Yeah.
And make the thing even like we'll put straps all over the shit. Don't even make it like they did with Tiffany. Like make the belt, the briefcase even different. Okay. All right. So you have Stephanie. I have Naomi. Okay. Go ahead. Continue.
And then we got for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, a last chance bout as Becky Lynch will challenge Lyra Valkyria. If Becky loses, she can never get another shot at the IC title. But if she wins, Lyra Valkyria has to raise her hand. Of course, I'm going with my best friend, Rebecca Quinn.
our best friend, Rebecca, if you're nasty. Yes.
And then finally, it's an all-star tag team matchup on this match card. You got John Cena teaming up with Logan Paul to versus World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Due to what happened last night, I gotta go with Cody and Jay.
Same. I was gonna say the same thing. Logan is getting the pin. The Yeet brothers are going to win. American Yeet. There we go.
The American Yeet. The American Yeet. Oh, yes, you're absolutely right, King of the North. They do need to glue horns on the briefcase for Stephanie Vicaire.
If she wins, I would buy that because I'm an Aries, so I'm a Ram, and we need the Ram horns on the briefcase. Make that shit red and black. Put it on her.
We got a bunch of love for LWO in the trios matchup. We got Stephanie Vicaire, Stephanie Vicaire, and we got Stephanie Vicaire getting some love in the tag team match. King of the North thinks it's going to be a disaster.
Wait, hold on. Stephanie Vicaire is working overtime. She working twice.
She working twice.
No. So she gotta win.
And if you believe the rumors, Chad Gable's working twice as well.
Yeah, he's working twice. Someone tried to say he ain't got the tattoo at the back. They tried to make it seem like that ain't where they photoshopped that bitch, but it's all right. That is not the same person.
Bunch of love for Ethan Page, even though Power Driver is going for Javon. We got King of the North, who says Chad Gable wins with help from JBL. He also asks me, are you up for a 4-match pay-per-view? I should have never complained about Triple H being a 5-match merchant. So he was like, I'm going to beat those allegations. 4-match merchant. God damn this guy. I hate this guy. This is what we do. Yeah, the women's Money in the Bank. I would be happy if 4 out of those 6 women win. Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss don't need to win, but everybody else, I wouldn't mind.
I would say even Julia. I wouldn't be mad at Julia, Roxy, Naomi, and Stephanie. Those are the ones that deservingly should win. The other 2 don't need. They've done it already. They've had this. These other ones have the backing for it. They can be superstars and have a good run. The other ones don't need it. Like Rhea Ripley can be champion any fucking day of the week. Exactly. She's still gonna be a big star. People will still pop for her with her belt or no belt.
Exactly, they'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Triple H said 4. You want. You're complaining about 5 matches. I'm gonna give you 4. But it's going to be a great 2-hour pay-per-view. Hopefully, not 2.5.
Yeah, no, it's going to be 2.5 hours, friend. Yeah.
With like an hour worth of commercials. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
But enjoy all the wrestling. In an hour and a half starts Worlds Collide. It's free on YouTube. Then you have the Peacock for Money in the Bank. But thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. Thank you so much to Baby Seth, our producer in the back. All of you who send super chat donations. I appreciate y'all for that. But of course, Miss Krissy Luv, thank you so much as always being here with me. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
You can follow me, Krssi Luv _1, Tru Heel Krssi Luv _X, and then it's just my plain old name. SP and I will be back again with another review of one of our shows that we're watching. I'm so happy that he's watching The Shy, because then we can just review that. We'll have to do a character thing for that one. SP, it's too many seasons. I'm happy All American is back. If you guys didn't get the memo, it's going to come back one last final season, because they left it on a cliffhanger, so don't know what they're going to do for this last season. But yes, definitely great. If you want to watch Handmaid's Tale, watch that. That's good. That's about it, friends. I don't know when SP and I will be back again. Thanks. Oh no, we got to do BMF. We got to do BMF.
We got to do BMF and All American. Those are the next two things. We'll be on Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment for that. I will be back tomorrow for our Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide review, breaking down both shows from today. And yes, put in the comment section if you're watching on demand. Hashtag Krssi to the cruise. But you can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, and enjoy all the wrestling tonight. And join us back here tomorrow for the review. But for Miss Krissy Luv, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 332. Truth, glamour, and contracts. We are signing off until next time.